Welcome everybody to another edition of the C3 Friday Free For All, the show for Panther fans by Panther fans. I am your host, Cody Lashin, coming at you again. And again, to let everyone know, this is your show. You want to join, the link is in the description to join the Streamyard down below. It's in the description to the Facebook, and I'll post it here in the chat room here in a minute. But boys, let's just jump into it, man. I got some Friday Free For All faithful here in the building with me today. My man Nick Montero. Nick, what's up, brother?
What's up, Cody? It's Friday. I'm back. Technical issues arose before I hopped on, but I think we're good now. Let's see if I can make it the whole way through the stream without my stuff crapping out again.
Oh man, it wouldn't be a Friday Free For All without some technical difficulties, would it? Come on now.
Oh God, no.
Yeah,
God, no.
right. I mean, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. Next, my man Drew. Drew, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, fellas? Hey, great Camp Confidential last night. So definitely ready to talk about it and see what everybody's thoughts are.
Yeah, man, a lot of really cool, really new information. We'll sparse through that and see what that's all about and what everyone thinks about it, man. Representing the future of Panther Nation, it's young Connor. Connor, what's up, bro?
Yo guys, what's up? I'm back. I've took a probably like 3-week break or something. Ever since that big storm came by here about 2 weeks ago. I've been kind of disconnected, but yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, man, dude, happy you can be here, man. Especially, I think it's good, man, to have these Friday shows to decompress and relax and just talk Panther football, man. Shout out to Sideshow Rob. Got us up on the big screen at home, big time chilling. Love it. Next, our man Kenneth, Panther Pickle. Panther Pickle, what's up, brother?
What's up, guys? Just been bebopping around, and you know what? The Camp Confidential was really good yesterday. Really impressed by it, and I think we're going to have a better season than most people think.
Yeah,
and
man.
Who needs any other quarterbacks?
Yeah, man. That I noticed that right now. There really seems to be a lot of optimism in Panther Nation, man. I'm loving that. That's something we don't really feel too often. So I'm digging that. And of course, joining us again, he's in enemy territory, man. So we love him for it. This is our man Chad down there in the NO. What's going on, bro?
What's up, man? I got a busy night ahead of me. There's so much to watch. Panthers Confidential was cool. I've got the Red Sox on. The Celtics play later, and then I've got to start Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, that came on. That came out today.
Yes, so it's gonna be like a 4 or 5 o'clock a.m. before I go to bed tonight.
Oh man, yeah. Then I also heard that they released the new Obi-Wan show on Disney also, so I gotta check that out. A lot of good stuff to watch, man.
Yes.
But that's I'll definitely have to check that out as well. And then last but not least, we got 2 more people. First, we'll go Brad. Brad, what's going on, brother? Happy to have you back.
Oh, it's Friday, so I'm cleaning my bathroom again. If we're going to talk about Panthers, man, I need to be in the bathroom anyway, right?
Yeah, man, dude, talking to us, being in the bathroom, that's what life is made of, And then joining us today, let me make sure I say this right. Sir Predictable. Sir Per, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on, guys? Just had to get on here, share my thoughts.
For sure, man. That's a really cool head, and the eyes kind of blend in with the green screen in the background. So
yeah, they're green eyes, so they just blend in right to the green screen, and it gives it a cool effect.
Psychedelic, man. I'm into it. Happy you could join us. And then last but not least, him and love him. It's our man 89 Jay Stubbs. Jay Stubbs, what up?
What it do, baby?
Oh shit. What's up, bro?
Chilling, man. Beautiful weekend coming up. Ain't nothing to talk about, but at the same time, there's a lot to talk about. So let's get it.
Yeah, man. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Like I tell my man Tony Dunn all the time. So listen, I'll pull up some clips as we start to talk about it. But who wants to jump in with their first thoughts on this Panthers Confidential? No, you know what? I'm gonna direct this at someone.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, but for whoever hasn't seen it, that's basically what we're going to be discussing today. There's not a whole lot of news, but we'll kind of go into it. If you have or haven't seen it, it don't matter. We're going to be discussing it here today. But Connor, I want to go to you first, man. What were your thoughts on this Panthers Confidential, and what did you tell me before the show about Matt Rule?
Well, I mean, I thought that it was pretty good. I mean, I love to see, even though we can all agree on one thing, and that is that Matt Rule is most likely going to be gone next year, unless a miracle happens. But I mean, it looks like Matt Rule on that call. I mean, no, don't get me supporting Matt Rule in your head at all, because that's just not going to happen. So you don't even get that in your head. But I mean, I was kind of impressed by him taking that leadership to go ahead up to Bill Belichick and call and inquire of trading up. And overall, I thought that the Confidential was just, I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, I watched the whole thing. I mean, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you were kind of surprised that Matt Rule was the one that, or it looked like at least, was also very down with Matt Corral. That
Yes,
Matt Corral was someone that also had the Matt Rule seal of approval. Was that surprising to you?
Yeah, it's surprising to me that someone that actually looks pretty damn good on camera actually got Matt Rule's approval.
Yeah.
He looks good. Like, I mean, I just really think that he's pretty good. And also, I mean, I just think that what Matt Rule did, instead of laying low and letting Scott Fitterer do all the work, I think that he came out and proved enough is enough. I actually care about my job. Now, if that's actually what was going through his mind, I don't know if it was. I don't know if Scott Fitterer said, hey, Matt, you do this call so we look good on TV, so we don't look like a dumpster fire. So we don't look like as much as a dumpster fire as we already do. And I don't know if David Tepper came up and he said that, Matt, don't make me look stupid here for hiring you. Now, David Tepper, by all means, already looks as stupid as he could possibly be. But, I mean, I think that it was just, I mean, it's the small things. It's like the small steps of leadership that help. It's the small things. It's the small Cam Newton coming back to Carolina for an extra stint. It's the small Matt Rule calling to inquire about bringing in our future franchise quarterback. It's the small thing of Matt Rule, not just. I mean, it's just like all the small things matter when you're running an organization like this.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people kind of came together to agree on this.
Right.
And it seemed like it seemed like a lot of people were kind of in the same headspace and the same mindset.
Right.
Real quick, I want to play this clip of Ben McAdoo. This is Ben McAdoo calling Matt Corral after he'd been drafted.
Hey man, how we doing?
What up, Coach McAdoo?
You doing good?
Can y'all hear
I'm doing
that?
great.
You got a little chip on your shoulder
now.
for sitting there all day? Let me tell
Much
you
bigger
something.
now, I promise you that.
Let me tell you something. You hit the lotto here, man. I loved you from the beginning. All right, we're gonna get you in here. We're gonna get you spinning it. You're gonna have a lot of fun in the process.
I'm excited.
Okay, we'll see you, man.
All right, so Ben McAdoo very clearly keying in on that third round pick, the chip on his shoulder.
I'm starting to like this guy. I'm starting to like McAdoo.
Yeah, I really like Ben McAdoo. I really think that his voice.
He's got guts.
Yeah, he has guts, but I like the way that he values players. And based on everything that we've heard so far in interviews, it appears as though he has a real large say-so in the Panthers' identity going forward. I thought that was a great point. Any more thought? Let's stay on Matt Rule. Let me get some more opinions. Any more thoughts on Matt Rule? Do you kind of feel like there's almost a concerted effort on the part of the Panthers media to kind of endear people to Matt Rule? Because it kind of seems like there's a little bit of that going on. Not saying that it's right or wrong, but it kind of feels like they're trying to warm people up to Matt Rule more and more.
I agree.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I really don't care how they portray him on Camp Confidential. I want to see what he does in the fall when the season kicks off, because that's when we're going to either say, okay, he's figured it out, or this guy really needs to go. Because it was his things that he was doing between the lines in the in season that made us all pissed off at him to begin with.
Yeah.
Right. But if you
lie.
work in a PR department, you know that you have to get the fan base behind Matt Rule to sell more tickets.
Right.
So if you're a PR person worth anything, you're going to try your best to get us back behind Rule.
Yeah, I agree. I also was chatting on the chat there. I really don't believe Matt Rule gets fired this coming season unless we hit rock bottom. I believe Matt Rule is going to be here for next year, maybe even for a year after that. I believe that's just how David Tepper is going to roll. And you know, you gotta understand. David Tepper was happy. David Tepper was so happy. If he physically assaulted anybody, the draft night, it was Scott Fitterer when he slapped him in Jesus out of Scott Fitterer's neck back and nearly knocked that man. If I was Scott Fitterer, I'd call HR. I got it back.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that again in a minute here. But hey, real quick, my man Kev, White Chocolate Espresso, that he's forcing everybody to call him now. Still don't know how I feel about it.
Smooth.
It
goes down smooth, Cody.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like this mega pint of wine.
Anyway, what's going on, bro?
You alcoholic.
Mega pint.
Yeah, this is Johnny Depp's actual wine glass. It's a mason jar wine glass. I love it.
Oh, nice. Hey, isn't that over today, by the way?
I have no idea.
Who gives a you know what?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was funny, but
And then we got my man Keeb on the show from Nine Lives Panther podcast. Keeb, what's going on, brother?
What's up, fellas? What's up, C3?
Chilling, man. How you doing?
I'm living. We got the young bloods in here, I see.
Yeah,
Mr. Connor.
Yeah, we got everybody represented up in here. We got a big time show, man. So
and
yeah,
we got a bear. We got a bear.
Yeah, man.
Call me a bear one more time. That
bear, man. But no, man. Listen, does anyone have anything that they want to add to about Matt Rule? I've kind of felt like some people might be starting to change their sentiment around Matt Rule. Does that represent anyone on here? Like, do you feel like maybe you're kind of starting to change your mind on him? Yeah.
No. I think I speak for Panther Twitter on the whole when I say fuck that guy. Like, it's just, it's real bad too because they're trying real hard. Like, at one point, I know, like, when I was watching Panthers Confidential, and I was like, I smiled a little bit when he said something, and I was like, no. I slapped myself immediately. I was like, no. Don't be indoctrinated.
That's fine acting they doing.
It's almost a little too late at this point for him to figure out that his coaches are supposed to make a lot of the decisions that he screwed up, and the GM. So it's a little too late for Matt Rule.
Cody,
out.
I'm taking off the coaches here. I'm not gonna watch any of the Camp Confidentials. I'm just gonna wait till the actual games. Because every year they put this rollout, which is amazing every year, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's like they hype us up for no reason. So I'm just taking a different approach, and I'm just gonna ignore that social media stuff because at the end of the day, like, it means nothing. It's just trying to get us excited about tickets, and I'm going to the games anyway. So.
And yeah, that's a good point, man. Because it's like every year, the past 4 years in a row, the Panthers
have disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, not only have they disappointed, but they've done a very good job at building us up just to let us back down. And I don't necessarily blame Panther fans for being like, man, I believe it when I see it, And I don't blame it. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the other thing, Cody. It's a little weird that Scott Fitterer was the one who said that Matt Rule is the one who called Cam, and now Matt Rule is also the one that called Matt Corral to let him know that he got drafted. Is that the organization's way of saying, Matt, you got to figure this out, and this is on you, you either stay here because you picked the right guy, or you leave because you picked the wrong guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what to take of that. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird that
It could be just
in both cases, Matt's the one who makes the call.
It could be just him being the head coach, and like you're the head coach, you got to make the call.
Well, and I think he had to call Cam Newton because at the end of the day,
This is the clip that Kenneth was talking about.
Broke his shoulder.
That's actually
David
pretty funny.
Yeah.
David Tepper
Trying to take his shoulder off.
Judo chop.
This was not on
Judo chop.
And he was
yes, this was on Confidential.
I did not see that.
I mean, look, and it like knocks him off his feet. He stumbles.
That's a fat smile we put on.
That's a thank you. That's a thank you for getting a quarterback. That's not, we don't have to play sense.
That's that thank you for making decisions and Rule doesn't have to slap.
Do y'all think Fitterer sharded?
I think overall, then since Tepper took over, I think he himself mismanaged it, and he's allowed folks that were in charge to mismanage it simply because he didn't know what he was doing. Slowly, he's trying to get that issue fixed, and like the coaching staff.
Yeah.
He kind of allowed Matt to come in and do what he wanted to. He went out and flew in Joe Brady because Joe Brady was the hot guy in the media at the time, and all that blew up. And finally, not that I'm defending any of them. I'm just saying but I believe that they truly believe they're doing the right thing, and maybe they are. Who knows? I do like some of the coaches that they've assembled this year. But
yeah,
I think Matt's or David Tepper's kind of seeing as it goes. I think Matt really tries hard to do right. He just screws up multiple times. I'm really curious to see what this year brings, that since we have a real NFL coordinator and real NFL coaches. These last 2 seasons have been a clusterfuck disaster, and to be nice, Matt Rule's lucky he's here.
Hey, Panther Pickle. I don't think that's changing. This year, Cody. As much as we like to say, as much as we have, it is what it is, right? That Panthers Confidential, in my opinion, was 50% here, have some hope, and buy some tickets, please. And the other 50% was, if you take it as face value, hey, look, we're working together. Congratulations, right? We're shaking hands, having a good old time. But at the end of the day, I don't believe that translates to wins for us. I think it's going to be a very slow start. And there's going to be reckoning coming for our offensive line, which did get better. But those first couple of games, it's pretty tough, especially that defense.
With all due respect, I've tried. I believe people are hyping up some of these teams.
Thank you.
And there's just the Browns. And I've said this before. I've said this to family. I've said it to folks I work with. I'm 54 years old. My entire life, folks, I've heard how great my brother has been a Browns fan longer than I've loved football. That's a fact.
But Panther, what? So to backtrack, what I was saying was, I'm not saying we're not going to win or lose. I'm just saying they have a pretty decent, if not really good defense, especially that front four.
Yeah, I agree, but
and a run game.
A very good run. Yeah, there you go.
People are hyping up some of these teams, and it's just like stop. Just stop. That's
and that's a good point. We don't truly know what any of these teams are going to be yet. And this is how I feel. I feel like most people probably agree with me. If the Panthers have a good year this year, it won't be because of Matt Rule. It's going to be because of Matt Corral. It's going to be the Panthers figuring out the quarterback position, and hopefully that happens soon. Either Sam surprises us, or Matt Corral wins that job a lot quicker than people in the media are expecting.
McAdoo's not afraid to throw him in. Remember, he benched Eli for Geno. So
yeah, and by the way, I also want to put this out there too, that to me, I don't necessarily know how behind the curve Matt Corral is, just because yes, he was in a very RPO heavy offense last year at Ole Miss, but it's not like he was only in RPO offenses the entirety of his football career. So that might not be such a deterrent to him potentially seeing the field this year. I'm going to go into depth further about the quarterback room in a minute, but I kind of want to stick to the sting of like, what did Panthers Confidential show to you that you feel good about, that maybe you didn't, so maybe some things that you didn't like so much? What has you optimistic? Sir Predictable said something before the show that I actually felt was a really good take, and I want to see if other people agree. Sir Per, why don't you tell us what you told us?
So if you've ever been in any type of leadership position, you don't really talk about being a great leader. And all I've heard from Matt Corral's mouth since we drafted him, and I love him. I can't find anything wrong with his play or anything.
Yeah.
But he always, every answer is, well, I'm a great leader. And it's almost like he stumbles over his word. Like he might not be that smart, guys.
I don't know about his intelligence, but I did hear that apparently he did struggle in some interviews with some teams.
He looked nervous.
He doesn't necessarily seem to me like
scripted.
Or either that, or he just might not be like a speech type of people person type thing. I don't know. Do y'all think that there's any credence to that? Does a leader have to keep telling everyone that he's a leader?
Well, it's not just leaders, right? Anybody. So one of the things that I've told people for a long time is you see all these people who get online and they talk about, oh, I'm the smartest person in any room I walk into. I'm so smart. I'm so smart. I'm so smart. If you have to tell people that you're smart, you're not just trying to convince other people that you're smart. You're trying to convince yourself too.
Yeah.
When somebody comes in and says, I'm really smart, or I'm a really great leader, or I work really hard, if you have to say that to people more than once or twice, real leaders lead by example. Smart people don't walk into a room and proclaim their intelligence. They just are intelligent. They provide meaningful arguments.
Now, let me defend myself real quick. I do think Corral is a better leader than Darnold by 1,000%.
What does that say, though?
But y'all guys got to understand.
Darnold is
the new generation. They telling you, bro. They're not. That's just them. So I hate to say it, man. You just gotta get used to it. These young kids. I mean, look at someone like Draymond. He'll tell you how smart he is every 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So
let me
if you don't say it, Cody, like if like Cam Newton.
Oh, Brady flexes all the time now.
They swear Cam is dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, Brady got the rings for it.
Yeah,
let me ask this as like a devil's advocate kind of stance to this. Like, if you're trying to sell yourself to an NFL football team and you genuinely believe that leadership is one of your best qualities, then how do you relay that to someone without just directly saying it? You know what I mean?
Like Cody, you do that by convincing the people around you to do the things that they don't want to do. I work construction. I've worked construction the last 10 years. Okay, on top of all the other schooling that I've done, everything like that. Okay, a majority of the guys that I work with, they are about my age. Okay, and these are guys who go out into the field, strap their tools on, and some of these guys have to direct 10, 12, 14 licensed electricians out of whack. Okay, and you get guys who are younger than even I am, leading crews of 10, 15, 20, even more guys. Okay, a lot of it comes down to how you present yourself, but then the other thing is the effectiveness that you're able to not only diminish conflicts, but also your ability to be able to talk to people and get them to do things that they normally wouldn't want to do.
Right. Okay? Yeah. It's not just that. you lead by example, and you the interactions that you have with other people. That's how you every interview you have those questions like, what happened when you had a workplace disagreement with somebody? What happens when you have, when somebody one of your coworkers disagrees with management, right? You have these conversations, and the way that you answer them is how you tell your employer that, oh, I'm an effective leader. I am good at conflict resolution. I am good at getting people to toe the line. You know what I mean?
So here's the flip to that though, Brad, because when you have those discussions with your higher ups in the company that you work for, those conversations are kept internal in the company. Now we're at the point where you're having to explain the process to people who aren't even a part of the company that you're in, but they take the information that you say and dish it out to thousands, if not millions of people. So the whole concept, I understand why Matt Corral can sit there and say that he's a great leader, because at the end of the day, you have nothing else for us to go off of other than what you did in college. We have nothing to go off of as far as what you've done in the NFL, because you haven't even played a snap yet.
Hey,
Okay?
so I have a little bit of that interaction between Matt Corral and the Panthers in their first ever meeting at the combine. So let's see.
Staff, the times that really matter are the few chances they get to meet face to face with the players.
No, so Matt Corral here in a sec.
When he's at the chalkboard and they ask him, he says leadership. He stumbles.
All right.
You don't know what to say.
Everything we hear about you, you're in the
So I'll play this part, but I think this is relevant too, because especially early on, when you're just getting to know these people, part of the evaluation process is obviously not just getting to know them in person, but then also digging into their backgrounds and seeing if the person that you're meeting one-to-one, if it's the same person that people are telling you about, their teammates, their coaches, their families, their friends. So that's why, I don't want to be too hard on Matt Corral for saying he's a leader, because he might be, and it might be that the other people in his life confirm that notion, which frankly I think is true. But
we're also talking about people are getting on Corral, but I mean, Cody, play Icky's part. Icky's saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all scripted.
He's saying it because it's a job interview, and their agents prep them to say these things because it's this is what teams want to hear. Okay, so I'm going to accentuate what my positives are. And the teams turn around and say, okay, I believe somebody said something to Matt Corral. He was like, well, I heard you went to the Manning camp. He said, yeah, our coach, Eli Manning, we'll be giving them a call. And what would they say about you? And he said, they'll say I'm a great leader.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they asked him the questions, and he's just responding to those questions.
And a lot of it may be which team that interviews them based on what their needs. For example, the Panthers may have let it slip that they're looking for leaders. So
but last year, Rule said he doesn't need Sam to be a leader.
Well, but you remember he also
Sam
was
isn't
on,
a leader, so that's what he has to say.
Well, you're right.
But also, if you remember at the start of the year, they wanted Sam Darnold to be the first one out on the field. It's almost like they were trying to push Sam Darnold into a leadership role that he wasn't quite built.
Passive aggressively, right, Cody?
Yeah. So let's finish this clip and then we'll talk more.
Tough guy in the field. Can we expect that from you as a rookie?
Sir, 100%. I bring 100% to everything I do.
So this is all about
draft
days,
days.
pretty much.
Nature about me. It doesn't matter who you are. I'm going to come at you as hard as I can 100% of the time. Because I feel like if I don't, I'm letting my teammates down, the coaches down. I'm letting the team down if I don't.
What's your mindset like that? So what would be the things you look for in a quarterback?
Leadership.
What does leadership mean? What does that mean?
Leadership is something that means everything to me, especially in the position I'm in. I would call myself a servant leader. Who lead from the bottom up, no job too big or too small.
Why football? Why do you play football?
No job too big or too small. And one of the things I've heard about Matt Corral is that the moment is never too big from him or for him. After transferring, he was able to come in and play well and throw the ball downfield and be aggressive. He also mentioned a servant leader too. like my man JD54 says. So it's obviously that this means something to him. I mean, yes, maybe someone might say that it's kind of maybe too strong with the leadership thing. I don't know. I do feel, though, that the Panthers have been looking for leadership. It's what they liked in Cam Newton. It's what they wanted out of Sam Darnold.
And Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, and Teddy Bridgewater. And they didn't really get a lot from me.
It seemed like, is it just me or was he like a decent leader? I mean, he was better by Sam by a mile, I think.
Who, Bridgewater? I mean,
no, I never thought he was a leader at all. I never
thought that he was a leader. It's not hard to be a better leader than Sam Darnold.
I guess it was kind of like the experience that gave me that feel.
Well, but also, if you remember, Teddy Bridgewater took moments to throw DJ Moore under the bus for running wrong route after darn near tore his ACL into. There were a lot of moments from Teddy where it felt like he was trying to put blame onto other people and other places and other things. So.
He would make a statement on Sunday after a game, just everybody, throw the coaches and the teammates under the bus, and then Monday he'd come back and say, "Oh, but we all need to work better.
Yeah.
It's a team sport."
Yeah.
He was being coached up from Sunday to Monday that he screwed up, and that's the most pathetic style of quarterbacking that you can have. But to me, I'd have left him at one of the other team's house.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have said let him ride home.
I don't really care if he's a good leader or not. Can he throw the football?
Yeah, that's
I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
but Kevin, I used to think that myself, but I got to pay attention to something. Last year when Cam Newton came in,
the team was fired up.
They followed Cam not because they thought Cam could play quarterback great, because Cam led them that way.
That's true.
And I thought
they
that
led them to 0 victories.
He led them that way. Now, and a lot of those guys probably would still want Cam on the team, even though he may or may not have a lot of arm left. But nonetheless, they still like him because he leads them. He makes them believe in themselves. So,
guys, tell me, out of all those teams in the NFL, what team that's successful does not have a leader at quarterback?
None.
Well, what makes them a leader? Because he's good.
Maybe
they do the little things.
You gotta
they
be
don't
good,
ask
though.
their teammates to do anything that they're not willing to do. They lead by example, and guys follow them.
There's plenty of guys that lead by example who aren't good.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers.
And that was the one red flag I had with Matt Rule from day one when he said, "I don't need Sam to come in and be a leader."
What about Ben Roethlisberger?
Wrong answer. If your quarterback's not your leader, you don't have a team.
What about Roethlisberger?
Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers.
Roethlisberger was a leader. Aaron Rodgers is a leader.
Yeah, but they don't like him. They
you
don't
may not.
respect him. They
But
don't
here's,
really
you may
put
not
Rob
look
behind
at.
him.
You may not look at some of those guys and think leader from a personality perspective.
But you respect their play.
You respect their play and what they do on the field and how their teammates treat them. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. And
one thing about Aaron Rodgers, if I may,
yeah,
Aaron Rodgers used to be one of my favorite quarterbacks, but over time he's got so cocky. I really disrespect him now. I really don't give a damn if he plays or not. But I will say this: he will throw to anybody on the field that's open that gets there. There are quarterbacks in this league, or there used to be, that had their picks, and it didn't matter if this guy was open or not. I don't like you, and I ain't throwing you the fucking ball.
Yeah, I mean that happens.
Baker?
But again, I think it'll be interesting to see what leadership actually does, how much the Panthers value it, and what it actually does.
It matters, but you have to have good.
Actually, I'm talking about Tom Brady. Tom Brady had his picks, and this year he went to Tampa. I can't tell you how many times that young Scotty guy was. Yeah, he was open, but Brady always went to one of his favorites. He always went to his favorites.
Yep. I want to get to the part of the clip where they ask him about the Manning Academy thing, and then we'll continue with the quarterback conversation.
A game plan for the opponents you're facing.
So this is Cade Mays, that I know a lot of us are very excited about his future on the O-line.
I treat it like a chess game. That's the way I look at it. I just don't try to go out there and play 80 snaps of football. I want to play a chess game with them and not let them know my next move.
What would you hope the staff would say about you if we went and interviewed them?
Now I'm an overall great kid, quiet, but when I speak, people listen.
Sean and I, we both coach Ryan and I both coached Eli Manning. Did you ever go to Manning camp?
Yes, sir.
How'd you do?
Really well.
When you leave, we're going to call him. What's he going to say about you?
You're here.
Yeah.
There it is.
Hard worker and a leader.
Listen, he looked uncomfortable saying that though.
But
Like, he
also,
didn't
like,
It's in the middle of a job interview. I mean, some people just get uncomfortable.
hold on. And to be fair, do you know how many? Like, do you know what number?
Right.
Was
Right.
for Matt Corral today?
Right.
He had to do the same song and dance to 30
For mostly, yep.
It's on a road trip, hotel to hotel.
So it's
Yeah,
like
I'm
this.
not saying the
All right.
DJ, I'm just
But
saying.
at a certain point, how much are we really gonna ding him for it being like formulaic and and the way that it sounds? It's like it's almost inevitable.
It's just funny. It's not like a ding. It's just like,
Yeah.
Cody, it's one of those things where when you look at this, right, and you have a room of guys who are going to pick apart anything you say, and this man has probably been, like you said, 32 teams saying the exact same thing. It's at this point where you're like, what can you say?
Yeah.
Also, he's also trying to write something on the board. So some of this may be how accurate can you be multitasking at the same time?
Exactly. That could be a big thing right there.
Because there are some folks who would just screw something up. They just would. I mean, they can't do. To get that far, I'm sure he's had to do more than one thing at a time.
Yeah.
But this
I'm one of those
lets
people.
them know. Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to ask y'all something. To me, this was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I don't know if y'all thought this
His jacket?
the same. No, look how many players they had in on the same day. Like when they're doing their one-on-one visits, they literally had Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, Matt Corral, Desmond Ridder. They had them all there on the same day. And it just feels like kind of impersonable. Like I thought you would normally want to stretch those meetings out so that way it's not like you're cramming all of this about these different players into one day. Like I figured especially for the quarterback position, you would want to take more individualistic time with each player rather than just, all right, let's have 5 of them in on a Wednesday or whatever the hell it is. And then just spend all that day with each of them. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's more time effective, but
It's probably time effective.
Yeah, I think
that's the thing, Matt.
Because they have 30 slots to bring in, so I think that's all NFL teams. They bring them in as
You
a
got
group,
other
and then
32
they break them off individually and talk to them.
Yeah,
And Cody, and one of those things where, like, if you have all these quarterbacks sitting in one place, and it also brings up a honesty in terms of nervousness. Like, what is one guy's going to say over another? Like, how are these guys? How is one guy going to answer over another after sitting in that room, being called one at a time?
Yeah. And by the way, am I the only one? Like, I feel like over the course of this past college football season, like, I've kind of had it in my mind that Matt Corral is, like, smaller than he is. He's a reasonably big dude. I mean, he's not a big dude, but he's not as small, I feel, as he's been made out to be. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a small guy.
Well, we're used to 6'5", 250.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I don't think they mean height. I think they mean frame. Like he has a slight frame.
Right.
But again, we're used to 6'5", 250, and he's probably
Right.
what 6'2", 6'1",
Not
maybe
even that.
200.
Yeah, he's like 6'1" and some change, 210. But he might be able to add another 5 to 10 pounds of functional muscle, and I think that and especially once he spent some time in an NFL strength and conditioning system, that's a badass Panther, by the way.
I got a stupid question. Maybe it's not stupid, but to me
There
it
are
is.
stupid
Look at
questions.
Matt Rule's desk right there. Stop. Look. Why in the name of holy do you have a pair of shoes on your shelf? I mean, explain that to me. I mean, that's just. I mean, okay, if you're a football player or a golf and you wore them shoes to the Super Bowl or something, I can understand. What you gonna say? That's the shoes I had on when I asked my wife to marry him. I mean, come on.
Hey,
Ken,
Drill
I know
Sergeant
why.
Kenneth is back.
Some people
I
collect
know why.
shoes, man.
Hey, I know why. It's
Why?
because Jay-Z did it.
Yep.
Hey.
Oh,
That explains
okay.
it.
Maybe it's his deodorizer. You reckon? Maybe that's his deodorizer.
What's up with the 5-hour energy on the desk?
That's what I was about to say. Are there some 5-hour energies on the desk?
You gotta stay awake to fuck up.
Bro, I mean, whenever he's trying to make adjustments.
Maybe that's
Dude,
his
those
baby.
are 5 hour. Those are like the essential oils and crap.
Yeah,
No wonder he has that stuff.
It's for the humidifier, I think.
Yeah, there's a diffuser.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the diffuser. There you go.
that's what it was. He's got to put that. He's got to put that essential oil stuff up to cover the shoe smell. All right. I may be going too far, But
No,
is
Keith,
what it is.
that Panther almost looks like your logo a little bit.
You're right. That
Yeah,
looks
that's
pretty dope.
Yeah, man, but
It
I
kind of looks
mean,
like a bear.
it's been a pretty revealing, kind of, Panthers Confidential. Like now, and they really kind of showed you the process of how they navigated this quarterback section of the draft. They wanted to come back in for a quarterback. They saw the quarterbacks dropping, and they kind of just waited until they felt like it was the time to jump in and swoop in on Matt Corral. And I do want to note that you hear both Matt Rule and Ben McAdoo go to bat for Matt Corral. So you see him right here. They say, if you get a guy that you want, who are you taking or what quarterback? And then Matt Rule comes in and says, if I traded for a quarterback, it'd be Matt Corral. Let's play this.
Yep, he's the one when you watch the tape we believe in the most. Go way back to Cole. Cole went there. Cole was convicted on. Dan was convicted on.
So he said Dan Morgan was convicted on him. And I think that's a big thing. Dan Morgan is trying to position himself to be a general manager at some point.
What did he mean at one point?
So maybe
did he fall off of him?
Well, no, but I took that to mean. But I took that to mean, and now let Kenneth go, is that maybe because remember there were rumors that the Panthers could have been interested in a quarterback in the first round, and maybe there's a potential that Dan Morgan was pounding the table for him earlier before the whole team decided to move in a different direction. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just a slip of words also. There's really no way to tell. But, I mean, he goes out of his way to say that a number of people in the organization feel like you look at his film and he's the one to be believed in the most.
I just believe that you got to remember, I'm sure this is the third round. They've talked about a bunch of people before then. And the last time they talked to Dan Morgan about quarterbacks, that was his guy. I believe that's what that means. But like
you got a Browns fan in the comments.
You really don't know that. Do what?
Actually,
no. Browns fan.
Oh yeah,
the Browns fans are all idiots anyway. They just are. They've lived this loser lifestyle for so long. They actually think if they win the off season, they're great. I mean,
by the way, this...
I told my brother this. You don't win a Super Bowl in the offseason. I'm sorry. The little off-season awards don't mean shit.
Hey, yo, shout out my
go
man.
ahead and be happy about it, brother.
Hey, man, shout out my
The
man.
GOAT. The GOAT.
In the chat. What's up, Pat? And yeah, we have this dude that is a Saints fan, comes into our chat room. He ain't got no friends, so we let him come and hang with us,
Hey, Pat Coltrane, brother, tell them how many Super Bowls they win in April and May and July.
Oh, Browns fans, Saints fans, yeah, they want a bunch.
Yeah, all of them.
Hey, to all those Falcons fans out there, You also don't win a Super Bowl in the third quarter. Just saying.
The Falcon
Shots
fans,
fired.
you know what? They ain't won the off season. They ain't won the regular season. They ain't even won the bathroom season. You know what I'm saying? They ain't won crap.
Yeah, that is weird, man. We have a Browns fan and a Saints fan on a random Friday. Hey, man, we must be doing something right, you know.
Big facts.
The Falcon fans, if the Falcon fans want to see greatness, they come to the Panthers.
Hey, Pat, call in.
Yeah, Pat, we got more room on the show if you want to come in.
Yeah, Brad.
So this is more
So
talk
the first
about.
guy we have on the board is Matt Corral.
I like his arm strength and his accuracy is really good. He's got good feet and athleticism, good limit of his body. He's got good speed. I think he's going to has a chance to be really unique. He's my kind of guy with the way just the way he's built, his athleticism, and the way he throws and can pull the trigger. I can feel him on the tape. He competes. He's got passion. He's got his neck along with the tattoo. He has something that can make
What did y'all take that to mean? He's got
He's
some
a
shit on
smooth operator.
in his neck along with the tattoo. Like that seems like some Ben McAdoo-isms right there.
I mean, that's the kind of guy.
Operator.
This man's
out of his hand.
As a Panther player, I thought he had the skills that he to be a starter.
So this is Sean Ryan talking, our quarterback coach.
This level and potential franchise. Like, I think this guy's ceiling is high.
I think Corral's going to fall. How far does he fall?
So if you look at it like this, if a deal becomes prominent where it's good for us, we just take Corral because that's what we have ranked highest, right? For the coach.
I agree with that.
But like you get more active, more urgent. We've turned down 2 deals where we would have won because we're being patient, which is elite right now.
What deals do we
You're doing a great job.
Yeah, so that's a good point to mention too, Connor, is that the Panthers had 2 more opportunities to move up prior to this.
What about Willis? What about moving up for Willis?
They didn't want Willis.
Yeah, everything I'm hearing is that they didn't value Kenny Pickett highly at all, and they didn't value Malik Willis highly at all.
All that I believe all that hype about those 2 was purposely leaked to certain members of the media. There was a member of the media, Cody, you've had her up here before, and I'm not going to disrespect her by mentioning a name. If you know who I'm talking about, that's fine. I'm not going to disrespect her by mentioning a name. I made that mistake on Twitter, and she blocked me, and I feel bad for it. But nonetheless, I believe that it was purposely leaked to her, this stuff, because she was young, maybe a little naive, and she did what they wanted, and that did them a favor because everybody thought they were.
Hey, Pickle, you gotta chill, brother.
Hey, man, I'm not being mean, but I believe that, really. And that Saints fan, let me tell you what in the chat. Sister, let's understand something, girl. Your team sucks so bad, even your head coach dumped your ass.
Kenneth the General.
Your team sucks so bad, even your head coach dumped your ass. And this quarterback you're propping open, yeah, he only come to you because ain't nobody else want his sorry ass.
Aw, damn.
You didn't even want, and the Saints. Honestly, the Saints didn't want him the first or second go around. They had other people they tried to get, but the other folks wouldn't come.
All I'm going to say is I would rather have Jameis Winston over Sam Darnold any day of the week.
Yeah, but don't tell Saints
That
fans.
doesn't say a lot, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell anybody that. I don't care, man. Like, I mean, let's face it, Sam Darnold is just terrible.
So yeah, I mean, the Panthers they navigated this pretty well, and then that's when the Patriots came in, and they basically asked us if we wanted to trade up. So they contacted us before we contacted them. So a lot of people are like, oh man, Bill Belichick fleeced us. What did he say about Matt Corral that the Panthers didn't? And mind you, I'll tell you, Bill Belichick has never been a good drafter. Hey, he might be the best coach of all time in the NFL, but he is not great at the GM thing. So this doesn't really concern me too much if I'm being very honest with you. But kudos to Scott Fitterer, man. I think in the past 2 years, no other general manager in the NFL has truly demonstrated the true understanding of maximizing draft value quite like Scott Fitterer has. I feel like Fitterer has truly done a tremendous job in his first 2 years in the role to be able to maximize the value, man. Look at the amount of really good players that the Panthers have been able to find at a value a little bit later than they probably should have come off the board. I think this is a very good sign of things to come from an organizational perspective.
That doesn't have a lot of good signs so far.
Yeah, right. We're desperate for some good signs.
But I think we're getting the good signs. I think these
Yeah.
are the good signs.
Yeah, now for sure. Yeah. Who else wants to jump in on this? Or you think our organization is moving in the right direction here? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think Fitterer did a great job. I mean, but it's great that they did what they did in the offseason. It's all going to come down. Can Matt Rule coach this team come this fall?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And Cody and what a lot of people aren't. I mean, I know we're focused on this confidential, but you got to eclipse all the offseason moves. I think we did a hell of a job. If you look at the PFF grades prior and post offseason, I mean, just in terms of our offensive, our O line, it's a big jump. It's a big jump. So those are the facts. If that doesn't tell you we're going off in the right direction, I don't know what will.
Oh,
Hey,
real quick.
I'm gonna jump in for a second, real quick. So, Jordan in the chat, he just reminds me of something that's kind of making me feel good right now. And that's the fact that the Saints traded next year's first to get Trevor Penning, a guy that, for all we know, could be. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's kind of unproven. So let's just keep that on our heads. That next year's first round pick for New Orleans is non-existent.
Connor with the receipts.
And by the way, I think Brian Burns versus Trevor Penning, that is not a good matchup for
One-sided
Trevor
affair.
Penning.
One-sided.
Yeah, 100%. Great point, Connor. Fantastic.
Spidey's gonna get there. Spidey's gonna be the one.
That's right. Tell him. I'm loving it, man. I think that the Panthers are finally moving in a good direction too. Like, I've even started to look at some of our other draft picks, for their potential. I'm loving the Brandon Smith signing.
Oh, look at the Saints fan
even
going
more.
off in the chat. Look at the Saints fan saying Dennis Allen's gonna own the Panthers and the Bucks and the Falcons.
Yeah, Ali, Connor.
Yeah, I need to be more. Go ahead, Kenneth.
Dennis Allen sucks as an NFL head coach. That's just a fact. No made up Saint fan.
Yep.
Can understand that because Saint fans actually aren't all that intelligent. They just aren't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy.
General Kennedy.
You know what? Google Saint or football for dummies, and you'll find a Saint fan there. I guarantee.
I like that. I mean, and look, they have more fun coming to our podcast than any other Saints podcast. So that should tell you. That should tell you about how much fun they're having over there.
But worried about that Penning, the guy that's not really an NFL left tackle.
Yeah.
Good thing Jameis Winston's big. He gonna need all that big when he picks himself up. But hey, if he's such talented, he ought to be able to throw that ball on his butt.
I tell you what, I know one thing. New Orleans has some damn good crab legs.
Yeah.
Amen.
Hey, and I said this on chat.
I have to know, man.
People didn't read it. If Jameis Winston gets banged up and needs some help, you let that running back know. He'll hit you up on some pills and dope, y'all. He got that situations covered.
Or if ever you need someone to fight alongside you inside of a casino.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara will help you out. But so I wanted to kind of move on to this. I mean, really, the only thing that there really was to talk about today was the Panthers Confidential. what I wanted to go around is and ask everyone here, everyone in the chat room, are you okay with the quarterback room as is? Meaning just Sam Darnold, Matt Corral, PJ Walker, or do you think that we need to try and make some kind of upgrade somewhere else?
So I'll go first. Yes, we need to add depth in the linebacking core. But as far as the quarterback room, Fred, who came on here probably about a month and a half back, I was talking to him right before the show, and he seems convinced that we're going to go after either Teddy or not Teddy,
Mayfield or Garoppolo.
Yeah, it's almost like you heard the conversation or something, and I just told him that he's off his rocker. Both guys, we don't know what they're going to be like. And let's face it, Baker's attitude, we don't need that in the locker room. There's already enough negativity with this team as it is. We don't need to add anymore. So I'd like to add a veteran presence and have a real competition. But Cam's not going to come back for less money. And while I would love to see a 3 or 4-way shootout between PJ, Cam, Sam, and Matt, I don't think that one's going to happen.
The only shootout that needs to be happening here, if we bring back Cam, is him and Corral, because those are the only two quarterbacks that are good in this quarterback room. Is Cam and Corral.
But you with the amount of money that you're paying Sam this year, you have to include him in that that competition. It's too much money to bypass.
Right.
So
yeah, I get that, but I'm just saying if they bring in a veteran, whoever they bring in, PJ Walker's gone.
That's more likely than not, yes.
Carrying 4 quarterbacks, so PJ Walker's gone. But
more likely than not, yes, I'll agree with that.
I'm looking at it this way: if you're going to bring in a veteran, go ahead and get them in the building now. Stop playing games. Get them in the building now so they can start learning the playbook. What they're going to do is they're going to wait until after OTAs, and then they're going to wait to training camp. It's like, oh yeah, we think we'll bring in a veteran. Well, damn it, you put him behind the 8 ball.
Well, I mean, Drew, to your point, do you guys actually believe that we're actually looking for a veteran? I don't think we are. There's a lot of noise, and we're still trying to add to the quarterback room, but I don't really believe that.
If they had it the way they wanted to, they'd have it. They leave the quarterback room the way it is now.
Exactly.
And they would hope that Sam Darnold would step up and take control of the room. If they leave the quarterback room the way it is now, Matt Corral will be starting week 1.
And to everyone's point, hold on now. My bad. There's someone. All right, so to everyone's point, I mean, we don't have cap space next year. And when I say we really don't, it's 36 over the cap, right? I feel like most of the cap that you see right now is going to get pushed until next year. There's no reason to burn unnecessary cap space only to let a guy go. I mean, you're damn well not going to keep 4 different quarterbacks in the quarterback room. You're going to have to let someone go. So, don't burn unnecessary cap space and just ride what it is. I mean, what are we really trying to do here this year? That should be the big question, right?
And here's where I stand with it. So you have Sam and you have Matt. You have to see Matt at some point this year because the schedule's tough. There is a very high chance that we could be picking in the top 10 again. As a fan, I don't want that to happen. I want us to be good, but there's a high chance we pick in the top 10 again. We need to know, are we going after a quarterback or Tim Anderson? We have to see what Corral can do.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me take just a second real quick. Alex, everyone Panthers, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, fellas?
Doing good. Hey, real quick, let me ask you, man. And I'm going to go around. I'm going to ask everybody this. Let me get your opinion on this. Cam Newton, are you bringing him back, or are you moving on with how the Panthers quarterback room is positioned right now?
Oh no, I'm most definitely bringing him back, just because one, it's not going to cost the Panthers much. I'm going to say that they're trying to get him somewhere in between like the $5 million range. That's where they're trying to get him, like probably with some incentives. So I mean, I don't see, like, even when you bring him and Darnold, I mean, that's still $23 million combined with the cap. That's not That's not a lot for a starting quarterback, like combined. So I mean, just having an open competition, seeing what's going on, having that veteran leadership, that's great. And then let's see what he's got. Let's see him get a full-time playbook, full off season with a good offensive line. Christian McCaffrey's healthy. All these wide receivers, he's got weapons now. I kind of want to see what he could do with what they have this year. So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay. I mean, is there anyone on here whose opinion has changed on this? Because I'm beginning to think that I'm a part of this equation, and the reason why I say that, look, nobody's going to tell me that I don't believe in Cam Newton. If anything, I had people on this podcast telling me that I needed to move on and quit being a Cam stan and blah 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 and this and that, just for wanting Cam to be on a team with a good old line, with a good receiving core, all these different things, right? But then, as Drew said, I feel like every day that goes by, I less and less want someone to come on this team, including Cam, because they're putting him in a position to fail yet again by not giving them ample time. Then you're thrusting him into a situation where, they pretty much said that he has to be okay with the backup role. It's at the point where I don't even know.
They didn't say that, Cody. They said that he wasn't guaranteed the starting job. And that's my issue. My issue is, if you're going to bring Cam Newton in, give him a fair shot. That's all I'm asking. You don't have to bring him in and say he's the starter, but give him a fair shot.
Am I wrong?
But let's ask.
But hold on. Am I wrong for worrying that I don't know if he even will get a fair shot?
That's my issue. I don't think he will. I think
you can't have Sam and Cam.
Let's ask, who decides what's a fair shot? So let's be honest, and I say this with the only player jerseys I've ever owned in my life is a Cam Newton jersey. I've got it in the closet. I can prove that. There's pictures on Twitter of me in one. That's the fact. That's the only one I've ever owned. I say that as a Cam Newton fan, and I still use him on Madden, by the way. That's the fact too. But the question is, if Cam Newton comes in and looks, whether we like it or not, let's say he gets a full off season and he looks bad, who decides that he looks bad? Because whether I like it or not, or whether we like it or not, this front office hears the fans, and a lot of their reaction is fan based. What happens if he comes in, he looks bad, but the organization knows they can't put Sam up there, they can't even put Matt Corral up there, and Cam Newton sitting on the sidelines being a backup, not in Carolina. Who decides that? Does Matt Corral or Sam Darnold get a fair shot if Cam comes in?
Yeah, and to me, it's also a turning the page thing. I'm ready to look forward into the future, and if Cam is on the team, I'm going to be pulling for Cam, and I'm just going to be torn, But look, man, I'm going to add this person to the stream. You know him and love him. I respectfully ask that nobody blow anyone's ears out on the microphone. To everybody involved, everybody keep it civil. But you know who it is. It's my man. It's the man. It's the myth. It's the legend. G baby, what it is, big bro.
Hey brother, what's up?
Hey, what's good, fam? What's good, fam?
You just in time for this Cam Newton conversation, bro.
I got the number one jersey. What you talking about, man?
I see you, bro. So tell me, do the Panthers need to sign Cam Newton? But hold on, before you answer, even if the Panthers sign Cam Newton, G, is Matt Rule even going to give Cam Newton a legit opportunity to win the starting job? Because I'm going to be real with you, bro. I don't think he will.
No.
I feel like if they gave Cam Newton a fair opportunity, he would blow the other competition out of the water, man.
Okay.
I don't even think it would be close.
Okay.
Straight up, man.
Straight up, man. When I think of Cam, okay, like everyone who knows me knows that I'm big into cars. Okay, when I think of Cam Newton is that like '80s G body that it looks all ratty, but you can tell some work's been done to it, and then there's this big giant parachute on the back, and you know damn well that motherfucker gets things done. Okay, Cam is not going to be the 2015 Cam. But if they gave him an actual shot with this O-line, with these weapons, with the defense that we have now, I stand by what I said last week. If we re-sign Cam with everything that we got now, he could put up the 2015 numbers or something close to it. Okay, it would be a stretch, and he would have to play every single game. There wouldn't be any of the two quarterbacks BS that Matt Rule tried to pull last year. He has the possibility to make his comeback this year if Carolina can re-sign him and give him a fair shot. But like you guys said, I don't think that's going to happen.
And you know what Cam said, man. Cam said there's a difference between a professional athlete and an athlete. A professional athlete takes care of his body all year round. And that's what Cam Newton has done his entire career. And I feel like it would be blasphemy for him. And you know what? And this is coming from my heart. I genuinely feel like Cam Newton is going to sign that contract. I genuinely feel that way because that $10 million, Cam Newton's made plenty of money in his career. Trust me, money is not the problem for Cameron Jarrell Newton. It's not. And Cam is a dog. Cam knows he ain't worried about no Sam Darnold and Pee Wee. He ain't worried about those QBs, man. Trust me, Cam Newton does not have no problem taking the little, come in as not a starter. All right, that's fine. Y'all still trying to do me dirty. I carried this franchise on my fucking back for a whole decade when you guys didn't give me shit. But y'all still want to play these little ticky-tack games. That's cool, man. That's cool. I'm gonna go take this shit. And I feel like that's what Cam Newton's gonna do.
When do you think they're going to sign?
I feel like Cam Newton's going to sign soon because, in my opinion, I feel like Colin Kaepernick is going to sign with the Raiders. I genuinely feel like he will because Cap is always going to be Cap. It's bullshit. We're not even going to get into that political. I'm not even apologizing. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, you're right.
But Cam Newton will be a Carolina Panther this year, and Cam Newton, if he starts, with our roster. With our roster and with the offensive line that they've given him, bro, I feel like Cam Newton can get us at least 9 to 10 wins. And I feel like 9 to 10 wins in the NFC will get us a wild card spot. I don't feel like we'll win the division. I genuinely don't. But if Cam Newton starts, I feel like he can bring us to a 9 to 10 season. If Pee Wee starts or Sam Darnold, I'm holding that 2 wins. And both of the wins will be against the Falcons. But yes, 100%. I want Cameron to come back, man. That's my favorite player of all time. Of all time is Cam Newton, man. The greatest Carolina Panther of all time is hands down Cam Newton. There's no discussion.
No, it's Luke. Well, I love Cam, but I think it's Luke.
I mean, look, my answer is Cam Newton, just because that person, like, that's the player that brought me to this football team. I mean look, Cam is my man. I love Cam Newton, man. I just like, Tony's been saying this on the Tuesday show, is that, when every year Cam Newton comes in because he loves to play ball, he's a leader, he loves the Carolinas, he comes in and gives himself to this football team, and then yet again, the Panthers will seemingly do everything in their power to not only put him in a disadvantageous position,
it makes no sense.
But then blame that Panther Nation at large will then take all the blame and put it on to Cam Newton. It's never made any sense to me, but that's also why I'm like, bro, spare me this shit. Like, I've done it. How many years have we done this? Like, I feel like as Cam Newton fans, like, we're being strung along. You know what I mean? Like, how many times?
It's like giving LeBron James no shooters and saying you'll win a championship.
Yeah, it's like we're continuing to hope for something that I don't know if it's ever going to happen. In theory, I love it. I love what the Panthers have done on the offensive line, drafting a Kim Ekwonu, Getting Bozeman and Corbett. I'm loving all those moves, man. And I would love to see Cam Newton with some decent protection.
Cam Newton will put asses in seats. And what these guys need to realize is these home games are important, man. Like, we need these fucking fans at these home games, man.
And this year we have 6 out of our first, 4 out of our first 6 home games, or 6 games this season are at home. So that's going to be a real big opportunity for us to build the fan base even further. My thing is this. Does Panther
Cam want
Nation,
us?
Yeah, does Cam want us? And so G, I know your answer, but the Panther fan base as a whole, are we more excited to potentially see Matt Corral or getting Cam Newton to come back for another year? Because I think a lot of fans are excited about wanting to see Matt Corral.
All right. Hey, Cody, I mean, I think a lot of it, why a lot of stuff's on hold, too, is because, one, I think the Panthers are kind of waiting on Baker, Jimmy G situation, which I don't want them to go that direction, but I think they're waiting on that. And then, two, it's up to Cam, and I don't think Cam doesn't mind being a backup, but just not to Sam Darnold. He's not backing up Sam Darnold.
Right.
He'll back up a Patrick Mahomes or a Lamar Jackson,
right?
But not a Sam Darnold. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
And that's a fantastic point, Alex. Do you know how pissed off I would be, and a lot of fans would be, if we brought Cam Newton back, and we have Matt Corral and PJ Walker, and we bring back Cam Newton just to start Sam Darnold?
They need to cut PJ Walker. What the fuck is up with that, man?
I agree with that.
God damn, bro. What is it with this? What is he doing shit under? What, bro?
You know what? PJ Walker must do real good work under the desk.
Bro.
Hey, Cody. Coltrane said, "Where's the link?"
I'm on it. Yeah, Pat.
What is their obsession over PJ Walker? It's another roster spot.
It's not an obsession. Listen, bro. It's not an obsession. The man is making pennies. He's not even making $500,000. He's probably gonna get cut anyways. He's dirt cheap. It's just
why have him? I don't. Bro,
it's not like we're worried about roster spots right now.
He was on here last year. That's all the reason why he was on here last year, and he's the only. He's probably the only third-string quarterback who was easy to sign. Nobody else was going to sign here for making that dirt.
Hey, by the way, Pat.
Man, that ball makes us look bad, man. I'm sick of the fucking excuses, man.
Hold on,
dude,
Pat,
I agree with you. I don't like them either.
Hold on, Pat Coltrane. I put the link to the StreamYard in the description, and I just put it in the chat room, brother. If you want to come in and hang out with us for a little bit, but yeah, man. But Alex, no, that's a great point, though, man. It's I would really be upset if we brought back Cam Newton.
Hey, Connor, you okay?
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just playing Madden, and it's the most rage-inducing game I've ever played in my life.
But hey, man, let me welcome this man to the show. You know him, you love
the
him.
GOAT.
The man, the myth, the legend, Pat Coltrane.
What up, baby Bubba? I said, Bubba, what's up with ya?
Bro, what's up with you, bro?
Ain't nothing, man. Ain't nothing. Chilling,
Hey,
chilling,
the
chilling.
GOAT is here. The GOAT.
What's going
Pat,
on
how
with
you
y'all,
living, man? Oh, we're doing good, man. We're having this discussion about Cam Newton, man, like we always are, Pat.
Yeah,
we can never move on from this Cam Newton conversation.
And I don't think we should, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm be
Hey,
honest.
talk to me, man.
I was listening, and I kind of agree with y'all, but I feel like I think picking up Cam Newton is definitely the way to go, man. I'm be honest.
Speak, my nigga.
I don't see why not. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying pay him crazy money, but bringing Cam Newton to this team really, it solved your veteran QB problems, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like Cam Newton would bring more to the team than Baker Mayfield would or any other veteran. You know what I'm saying? As far as him starting, I think he could possibly beat out. I ain't gonna say possibly. I know he'll beat out Sam Darnold. You know what I'm saying? So that to me, that makes him the best veteran out there right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see what the big issue is. I will say that last year, I did say I didn't want Cam Newton coming back to the team, mainly because I ain't like the way they did him. You know what I'm saying? And then when he came back, they still did him dirty. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, yeah, I'm way past that. But I feel like third time a charm, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this feel like a totally different front office. This feel like a totally different team. Let's try it one more time, man. That's how I feel.
Yes, and that's my fear, Pat. Like, I mean, I remember last season, as soon as Sam was back to being healthy, they were quick to put Cam back on the bench in favor of Sam.
Yeah.
My thing is this. I have no faith that this coaching staff is going to bring Cam Newton to be anything other than a buffer between Sam Darnold and Matt Corral.
Cody, wait a minute now. You said the coaching staff. It's not the coaching staff. It's Matt Rule.
Yeah.
Matt
100%.
Rule wouldn't mind. He would not mind having Cam Newton on this roster, but he would prefer Sam Darnold starts.
So, okay, do y'all also, would you feel comfortable having Cam Newton here? Would you feel more comfortable now that we have Ben McAdoo and James Campen being such a big part of this offense?
I feel better.
I
that
would
we got
say
an
yes in the
line.
fact that I think the offense would move better. And as far as clock management and things like that, I think it'll be better. But you got to remember, the final decision still comes down to Matt Rule.
Yeah.
And that's the big question mark. That's the big issue. I think Matt Rule wants Sam Darnold to start. He would like to have Cam Newton there as a break glass in case of emergency, but he'll give Sam Darnold every opportunity under the sun to win this job.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking too, man. And like, but that's almost why I'm like, if it's inevitable that Matt Rule is just going to name Sam the starter no matter what, then it's like I definitely don't want it to happen. Then it's like the only reason you're bringing Cam Newton in is as a buffer, so that way you know that Matt Corral doesn't have to see the field this year. And
I hope that ain't the case. I really hope that ain't the case, man.
Yeah, I mean, how would y'all feel about? So, Pat, let me ask you this, man. Like, do the Panthers need to sign Cam, or is this quarterback room enough to be successful?
No, they
as
need to sign.
is with Sam Corral and PJ.
I would say they need to sign another veteran, and Cam has to be that signing. Like that's how I feel.
What about
like,
Ryan Fitzpatrick or someone like that?
Oh no.
I mean, any QB you name is not a better option than Cam.
Hey, chill. He's a young kid. Come on.
Go ahead, what you were saying, Pat? You were saying, go ahead.
What happened?
No, say what you were saying.
Oh, I said whatever veteran QB you name is not a better option than Cam. I'm be honest. Like Cam knows I ain't gonna say he knows the system. He has some experience with the system. He's a ticket seller. He's a leader. Like there's no other QB out there right now that you can name me that's better than Cam right now. I mean, all around, like there's none. But I do think we need to sign a veteran. I do think we do need to pick up another veteran. And I heard a lot of conversation about PJ Walker. I'm gonna say this about PJ Walker. If we do bring a veteran, then yeah, he got to go. If we don't, then hey, I don't mind him staying. You know what I'm saying? Like I think PJ is not terrible. You know what I mean? He a good backup. He ain't lost the game as a starter. You know what I'm saying? At least he got that. You know what I'm saying? He is hungry. So I like the QB room, but I prefer us to bring in another veteran right now.
PJ's a better leader than Sam Darnold.
To your point, Pat, it's one of those things where I'm like, you know, he can. There are better options out there than this team. There are way better options out there for Cam Newton.
I agree.
I have no idea what this team is doing in terms of where we are as a franchise. We brought in the pieces. We have a good direction, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're ready for the wins. And I don't think we're going to win that much this year. I think half the season is going to be us figuring it out, and the other half is we'll see where it goes. I don't want to. To everyone's point, I just don't want to put Cam Newton through that again. There's going to need to be quite a few amount of gelling going on with the whole team. So, you know.
Well,
I
I'm
just
gonna go
don't
ahead and
wanna-
give y'all guys a little spoiler of what's gonna happen. They're gonna sign Cam Newton. They're gonna bring him in. Matt Rule is gonna turn around and name Sam Darnold the starter for Cleveland. He's gonna go out there and stink it out the first half, and we're gonna be down by about 10, 14 points. He's gonna put Cam in at halftime, and we're gonna end up coming back and winning that game in the second half. And he's gonna have to sit up there in front of everybody and explain how is he not gonna start Cam game 2 of the season.
Okay, can I ask?
Flip it.
Yeah, go ahead. Hey, real quick, and then we'll go to Canada. Everybody, welcome KPM to the show. KPM, what's going on with you, bro?
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Hey, and I appreciate Sir Predictable coming in, man. He wore that Panther head the entire time, y'all, and messaged me. He's like, man, my head's getting hot. I gotta jump off of here, man. Yeah, man, he was cool. Yeah, KPM, appreciate you coming in. And then yeah, what was that last thing that you were gonna say, Kenneth?
Well, I just wanted to say this. So, and I'm all for bringing Cam in. Don't I'll misunderstand this. But for all off season, Scott Fitterer, Matt Rule, everybody, even Ben McAdoo has said it's a quarterback competition because Sam and Matt Corral, nobody's had to fight for their job. So you bring in Cam Newton in, and it's not a competition. It's Cam Newton's the starter regardless, right? Because I got news for you. As much as we like Cam Newton, it will not be pretty sight the day they try to bench Cam Newton, even if Matt Corral looks good. It won't be a pretty sight because there's going to be a lot of people hating on and and the first thing, because you know rookie quarterbacks, it's going to happen. He's going to make a mistake. Bench him, bring Cam Newton in. It's going to be all over social media. It's going to be all over there's going to be talks. There's going to be talks of putting a billboard up to start Cam Newton because Matt Corral made one mistake.
No, I can't see that.
Are we willing to go through that?
Nah, I don't see that happening.
I mean, Panther fans are gonna like we're gonna push.
No, I think that's the luxury of having a rookie QB. You allow him to make these mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see that happening. Sam, yeah, I can see him making a mistake, and people are marching to bring in Cam Newton. But Matt Corral, a rookie, and half the fan base want the guy. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have to, in my opinion, if he's thrown out there as a starter, if he's thrown out there as a starter, people will give him chance after chance. I say he got about 2 years to look bad. You know what I'm saying? I think
I'm not a Sam Darnold fan. I've said it since all off season. If it was me, I would have cut Sam Darnold and just take the captain.
But Pat, you're talking about Matt Corral though, right?
I thought that's who he was talking about. My bad.
Yeah, I am, but I am talking about more Matt Corral than Sam Darnold. But the question's still out there. Sam Darnold's going to be on this team, and if they sign Cam, I get what you're trying to say.
It's just like, and that's what I've been saying too. Is that like it kind of muddies the waters right now.
It does.
And I feel like the fan base wants the young guy. Like we want to see who we have in this young gunslinger quarterback at Ole Miss. And by the way, we saw 4 quarterbacks, even 5 last year that had to go in and start their rookie season last year.
But
I don't see why Matt Corral shouldn't also be in that same conversation.
But let's be real here. If Cam Newton is brought here, a lot of the fan base ain't going to want the young guy. They're going to want Cam Newton. G-Baby said it. Cam Newton sells tickets. So if Cam Newton is brought on this roster to sell tickets and Cam Newton ain't starting, they ain't nobody going to buy them tickets.
Well, but wouldn't it kind of split the fan base a little bit? Because look, we all know that there's a fan base that I'm a part of that loves Cam Newton, right? But we also know there's a whole nother half of the fan base that has been waiting to move on from him even before he was not, even before he was out of his prime, right?
So it's not just us. This goes back deep. They cut, even though it hurt our cap at the time, they cut Jake Delhomme, not because he was a bad leader, but because they didn't want him being the backup to threaten the new guy. Now in that entire case, Jake probably would have been a better guy than some of the guys we threw out there that year. But nonetheless, Peyton Manning, the Colts moved on from Peyton Manning because they didn't want his presence in situation with Andrew Luck. That's not a surprise thing. You know what I'm saying? That's not the only thing go about it. Remember when Jimmy G was backing up Tom Brady and was supposed to be the heir apparent? Well, Brady felt heat. He didn't like it. We could go through all that again.
Yeah, it just didn't happen.
Cody.
Yeah.
My thing is this. I mean, I don't think you're splitting the fan base at all. We just want to see Cam get a fair shot, and if it doesn't work, if he's out there and he's playing terrible, then okay, bring in Matt Corral. We just don't want to see Darnold out there week one. I mean, that's what we're thinking.
I hear that. I respect y'all's opinion quite a bit. I just don't think it's going to go over that good.
Hey man, let me welcome Twan Don to the show. Twan, what's up, brother?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What up, bro?
Chilling, man. Hey man, jump in on this conversation, man. I know you've been big on this conversation in the past. Do you think we need to bring back Cam Newton, Twan, or yeah,
Cody, absolutely. Me and you definitely on the same page with that. I'm just always in the mindset that we owe this guy. You know what I'm saying, because of the way we got rid of him.
Everything that he did for us, we need to pay him back.
We still owe this guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if it's 1 year, we got a great O-line now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we owe it to him the way we let him go to let him play behind that line. And see what he still got. Like Coltrane said, I mean, look, man, nobody's gonna put people
personally.
In
if you ask me, if we do sign Cam, I don't think Matt Rule will play him. I think the only way he'll play is like a gadget type player, like Taysom Hill. That's how I don't use.
That's my fear.
I don't think Cam Newton coming back for that.
And Matt Rule was booed all year. He already got booed at second half of the season. Y'all got to remember, the fans are not happy with Matt Rule right now. Right. We don't even y'all talking about we don't like Sam Darnold. The fan base don't want him here either.
Right.
So he can't like, I know he's trying to save his job, but he can't afford to piss us off either. So if he wants to hear us boo him every Sunday, then that he's just sticking. He's in a rock in a hard place this year.
Let me ask real quick. I asked this earlier. Who decides who gets the starting job? If you're Cam Newton and you're told that Matt Rule's the head coach and he decides who gets the starting job, why are you coming back for that?
Whoever wins, you still gotta.
I mean, you gotta hear that McAdoo decides the starter.
Whoever wins in that.
How does McAdoo feel about Cam? Anybody know?
Yeah, whoever wins.
I have no idea how McAdoo.
Quarterback competition. I think McAdoo will want Cam to start in the system.
I mean, do we know that though? Like,
no.
Look, I agree with y'all 100%. The dream scenario would be for Cam Newton to start, and then you give Matt Corral enough of a buffer zone to be able to grow into an NFL quarterback. Problem is, we don't live in a perfect world, and I'm basing my opinion on knowing that Matt Rule is going to be our head coach. And just being very real with you, I do not trust that Cam Newton is going to get a fair shake. I feel like Matt Rule has already made it up in his mind. He is going to make Sam Darnold work as a starting quarterback to prove his own self right.
Then let him lose his job. Let him go out with Sam Darnold. That'd be perfect for me, bro. Because I like to see them both leave at the same time.
And that's how I feel. Twan, that's why I said on your show, man. That's his guy. Let him go down with him.
Let him go down with him then.
That's why I ain't want to trade for Baker Mayfield and all that. No, let them ride with Sam Darnold. Yeah. Let him go down with his shit.
I don't think David Tepper has any plans to fire Matt Rule. I sure wish he would, but I don't think he will.
Bro, listen.
I hope I'm wrong.
Look, unless they want to be, we're already getting close to one of the most ridiculed not the fan bases too, and team in the NFL. If they want to see our fans every Sunday at 1:00 on Fox booing our head coach. I mean, I've seen teams do it before in the past where fans show up just to let the front office have it.
Yeah.
They don't look.
Didn't the
not
Eagles
even
do that
Temple wants
last year?
on TV.
Say that again, Nick?
Didn't the Eagles fans do that last year? Didn't they show up to this? Was it the
Saints
Eagles or was it
Saints fans
somebody
did it.
else? No, it was somebody else. I thought it was somebody from Philly, but
No, I'm talking about
must
the
be-
whole paper bag on the head thing.
Yeah. Personally, I was
Yeah.
at the Patriots
Maybe.
Panthers game last year, and during
Same.
that fourth
Me too.
quarter, after Darnold threw that pick six, it was like the stadium's just dead. Then after the game, everybody's just booing the team. And I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I paid like $100-something bucks for those nosebleed tickets, and I could only feel what it felt like to be a fan that paid for the lower bowl because I would have been wanting a refund regardless for that.
Yeah, I got nosebleeds also, and it was still just as pain. I mean, it was still painful. I mean, that was a hard game to watch.
Yeah, the last game I went to was the end of the 2018 season. I went with my brother to the Panthers and Saints. And
That must have been pretty fun, wasn't it?
We got absolutely stomped, and it was
I thought-
raining too, man. It was not fun. Yeah, man. I don't know. I want this quarterback situation
To be sorted out.
Yeah, man. I feel like, and look, all of us Panther content creators, like from now until the start of the season, all of our videos are going to be about the same thing: quarterback, man. Is
Not
it
my
gonna
video.
stand-
Y'all
I
talking
mean,
about that.
You retired.
that's what my videos are gonna be.
No, hey, you know what? I am gonna make a couple of videos about 9 Millie Matt.
Did anybody
But-
hear?
But I ain't worried about it. Because I ain't expecting us. Even though I'm hyped about this season, I'm hyped about the changes we made. I ain't expecting us to have some super duper success. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's hard for me to be,
Optimistic.
kind of judgy about this quarterback room. Because it is what it is. It still got Sam Darnold, still got PJ, and then even though we got Matt, we don't know what Matt Rule can do with You know what I'm saying? I'm excited what Ben Mack could do, but it ain't really changed my opinion about this team, man. You know what I mean? I'm excited. I want to see. I think once we get in the, and I said this yesterday, once preseason training camp, once we get to see them in action, then I'll be able to, gauge it. But I still feel the same way. I ain't gonna be doing a whole bunch of videos about this quarterback.
Hey, Pat, I don't know if I ever heard your opinion on Matt Corral in the first place, man. What do you think about Matt? Do you think that this guy...
What?
You ain't been watching him on Twitter then?
Oh snap!
Hey man,
No man. I did a show with Key. Oh, Key done drop off. Yeah, I did a whole show with Key. And I said Matt Corral, I said he was a psycho. I said he was a serial killer. I said he was the only serial killer in this draft. And Key tried to talk me off the cliff like, oh no, he ain't all that. He did talk me down though to say, look, he ain't no first round pick. And I agree. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now, I'm admit, Malik Willis was on my board, but I told folks, man, I really, really like Matt Corral over Malik. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But yeah, I was happy, man. Like, obviously you ain't been watching my videos, but it's okay. But
I watch your videos all the time.
But yeah,
man.
when we picked up Matt Corral, man, this draft was perfect, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't gonna say it was perfect. The first two picks was, but like, yeah, when we got him, man, I'm excited, man. Like, that's why it's hard for me to judge this front office and this coaching staff now, because I feel like they know what they're doing now. So you know what I'm saying. So I'm not gonna drag them as bad as I did last year, because they doing all the right stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they doing all the right stuff. Bump all the rumors about Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield. The actual stuff that they're doing, the execution, it's like these the right moves. Okay, so I ain't gonna get excited. I'm gonna try not to get excited. We're gonna wait till preseason. We're gonna wait till training camp and see what they do. But yeah, I like Matt Corral, man. Shoot.
You know,
And to build off of
Go to
that,
Corral. I'm be honest. I was the first one to call and go to Corral. Go back and watch my videos. Nobody was calling and go to Corral.
Oh, that's a Pat Coltrane thing. You started that.
Yeah.
Hey Pat, look, hey, for the record, Pat, like I never clown. Look, I always clown the front office. I was one of the first people 2 years. I was calling for Brady's job back then. I was calling for Matt Rule's job in year 1. So if you know me, everybody knows I never liked Matt Rule. I never liked Joe Brady when he came. You know, everybody knows how I feel about Tepper, but that's a different monster. The thing is, when it comes to the coaching staff, I've only come after the two dudes I'm consistent. It's not the other guys on the staff. It was the guys that was controlling it. Matt Rule, man. You know what I'm saying? And I saw the confidential thing yesterday, and it's just like he just still has his hands in the Play-Doh too much. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. Look, he didn't look like a guy who was worried about losing his job. So, you know, I just, man, look, I'm telling people are not going to like it, man. I never liked Matt Rule from the day he got off the plane. And
No one does. No one likes
that Jimmy Swagger speech. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed all hype. You know what I'm saying? And it's, man, I don't know.
We gonna say, this the year right here. You know what I'm saying? This the year right here. We find out if Matt Rule really got, like I said, they done built this offensive line. The defense is okay. You know what I'm saying? But they done, you know, I feel like they did all the right stuff now. You know what I'm saying? This is a solid team.
Pat,
you know what I mean?
A
good coach could coach this team up now.
I'm glad you said that, Pat. Look, when you play football and you know the game, man, what's something that all the great coaches do, man? All the great coaches trust their staff.
Yeah.
Their staff loves to coach with them. Matt Rule for so long has been on this island. Is he going to let these other coaches coach and do their job? Them?
Man, you bring up a good point, man. Hey, you know, it wasn't no chemistry, really. When you look at this
none of them other coaching staffs,
it don't seem like it's no real chemistry, man. It just seems like we got a bunch of coaching. You know what I'm saying? It don't seem like this is a coaching.
A bunch of homies,
their team. You know what I'm saying?
A bunch of homies on the team that know each other and not guys who actually gonna get it done.
Yeah.
Well, they ain't coached yet.
Is Matt Rule gonna let these other coaches do their job, what they do in practice every day, or is he gonna overrule them every other time in the game?
He's gonna overrule them.
$1 million question.
Yeah.
You
And
talking
you know
about
what?
you
That
talking
Panthers
about the
Confidential
offensive
showed
side?
me everything. Y'all, it confirmed everything y'all be saying about Matt. He definitely overrule stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
He's just a cocky coach.
Yeah,
Look,
he's like, I got
for a
this.
guy who has never done anything. I mean, look, I'm just not impressed with what he did at
You talking
Baylor.
about the offensive side or the defensive side of the ball?
And Baylor ain't been bad since he left. As a matter of fact, they got better when he left.
What?
They did get better when it left, which is hilarious.
Yeah, it's Baylor.
Look, my question is this: what could Matt Rule do to get anyone to change their opinion of him? That's what I'm asking.
Just win a game.
Nothing, because it don't matter.
Winning changes everything.
No, it doesn't matter. If Matt Rule comes out this year and wins every single game, blows them out 30-0, guy, tell me at the end of the year or even the middle of the year, everybody's going to say Matt Rule's a great coach.
Are we speaking realistically, or are we just having dreams right now?
Hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically
speaking. If he comes out and blows and wins all these games, how many people is going to say Matt Rule's a great coach, or he got lucky because he got the real stats behind him?
Man, we would say that about Pat Coltrane if he went out there and did that.
Exactly. So let's cut the BS. That if all you got to do is win, and it fixes everything. Matt Rule will be hated in Carolina from here on out.
But I feel like right now we're already saying that if the Panthers have a much better football team, we're ready to give the credit to Ben McAdoo and James Campen. Like, that's what I'm saying.
They are. We are.
Yeah, so
I
like,
mean,
that's my question. What would you have to see from Matt Rule to make you say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna stop trashing this man every time I get the opportunity on Twitter or on YouTube or whatever.
Oh no, they ain't gonna stop.
I actually, that's what I'm saying. Like,
At this
no,
point, they want Matt
look,
Rule
no.
gone,
The reason why I say they ain't gonna stop, man, because I mean, people got somebody like me. I got jokes, you know what I mean, whether I like them or not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna talk junk about you. Okay, that's just what I do. Now, when you talking about as far as him being a good coach and all that, all he got to do is win. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Win. You know what I mean? If you have a winning season, get us to the playoffs. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say, hey, let's fire him after he have a winning season and get us to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Show some progression. You know what I mean? That's all I'm asking. You know what I mean?
This is short.
To me, I ain't no hater. I ain't that type of fan. I ain't just gonna hate on you just to be hating.
I want to point this out too, because I think all of us as fans, I've seen this a lot the past year that nobody really talked about. What about the times where we use timeouts in like situations that we should never use a timeout?
Yeah.
For example,
that's on him.
I believe that all falls on Rule's head. But I believe also Rule owned up to that at the end of the year. He said he kind of took the blame for it, but at the same time, he's got a veteran staff now, so I feel they can reach out and say, no, Matt, you doing this wrong. Don't call the timeout here. Wait, let me use the draft.
Assistant coaches are afraid. Assistant coaches are afraid to do that, though, man.
Well, they didn't in the draft. Camp Confidential. I mean,
that's because Tepper's there. I mean, they all get. I mean, but in a game, head coaches. I've known head coaches to fire coaches just for giving them their opinion. Like, look, bro, I think you're calling the wrong play.
Well, then it ain't no use to watch games. We're all going to lose every game anyway.
So,
we might as well just put the towel in before it starts.
I'm not even on that.
Well,
So here's my thing, okay?
I got
For Matt Rule to save face with me, okay, two things have to happen. One, we have to win 8 games. Okay, you can't go 5-11, then 5-12. You have to bump up a substantial amount in 8 games, given the difficulty of our schedule. That to me would be impressive. Okay, on top of that, okay, when you guys compare the 2020 season to the 2021 season, which season hurt more to watch?
This past season.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
did you
and
not see our team? Did you not see our team in the
No,
third quarter? I just want to ask you that.
I
Did you not see
agree.
our team in the third quarter?
I agree, man. Trust me, I was at a couple of the games.
That's because we
last
literally
year,
watched
okay?
Matt Rule get worse.
Here's the reason why I asked that. Okay, when you look at the 2020 season, we were within 1 score in just about every single game. Okay, we had Teddy Bridgewater and he couldn't throw the ball worth shit.
Yep.
But we were at least within a score in just about every single game. Last year, that was not the case. So he needs to be competitive in every single game.
Yeah.
I'm
KPM
gonna tell you.
made,
Let me tell you what Matt Rule
KPM
can
made
do
a
for me to
great
change my mind about it.
I just want to say KPM made a great point with that clock management.
Sorry about that.
I feel like we've been complaining about that since Ron Rivera. Like that just never really gets better with us, halftime adjustments. Like again, the someone already mentioned it. The third and fourth quarter, the Panthers just going completely flat like that. That's unacceptable, man. That is completely unacceptable. We have too much talent on our defense. Now we have too much talent on our offense for us to let this happen, man. So we definitely need to see a step forward, man, because I don't care what David Tepper says. I don't care about no damn 5 years, man. If this organization is losing at the middle of the season, there's no way Matt Rule will stand another year. I don't care what Matt says. I don't care what Tepper says. I think David Tepper, is already kind of having to sell himself a false bill of goods just to be hopeful about this season, because there were very real reports last year that David Tepper was embarrassed about hiring Matt Rule and the length of the contract that David Tepper gave
He
Matt
should
Rule.
be.
Exactly. So if the Panthers don't turn it around fast this year, I mean, it's a winning season or bust for Matt Rule. Can't tell me no different, man.
We should have went out and told everybody they smell like each other, taste like each other, get their haircuts at the same place. You know. Hey, look, hey, Pat. I'm gonna tell you what Matt Rule can do for me, man. But I want him to stick around. Nothing.
Damn, it's like that.
I
Not
wouldn't
even
give
a
a
little bit
damn
of
if you won every game. He's still a cancer, and you got to get that guy away from your organization. As far as I'm concerned, Matt Rule had nothing to do with it, man. Get a real coach in here. It's nothing Matt Rule can do at this point for me, bro. Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think. Okay.
Ain't no nigga hanging on the use.
Yeah.
Let it go, man. Y'all keep saying let Cam go, let it go. When are we gonna say, man, let the Matt Rule shit go?
Oh man.
How bad the Saints going to beat us this year?
They're not.
That Saint fan in the chat said they're going to beat us pretty handily earlier.
I got to split with them.
I must have run her off, folks, because she ain't in there now.
Yeah, I got to split with them.
Hey, real quick, what did y'all make yesterday of this?
Hate to break it to you, but it's official.
He got me.
It's part of the coaching staff of the New York Giants. Sorry, just wanted to let you know. Breaking news myself. Rap sheet, Adam Scheffner, you don't need it. Scoop is here.
Yeah,
this makes me feel sick to my
I thought it was
stomach.
corny.
He got me. He really did. I believed it. I was all into it. I believed every word he said.
Right. I mean, I was happy for the dude, man.
I got it from you, Pat.
I said.
Pat, you posted that yesterday, right?
Yeah, I posted it because I didn't know the joke. So I was
Hey,
like,
you saw my response too, right?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Did you see my response?
No, I didn't see it. I don't remember it. I do remember you commenting on it.
I said, good for him. This is what happens when Carolina consistently lets their greats walk out the door.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So
no interest in ever picking up those guys to coach.
He was like, I was happy for him. Good luck.
So this is what Steve had to say.
Got all. Listen, Agent 89 is not a coach for the New York Giants. I'm still living in Charlotte doing what we do. There's just some new things going on, so we're doing things different. So all you folks, y'all know what's happening. Gotcha. It's not true. I'm heading back to Charlotte right now.
I'm gonna be honest. All I saw was love on the timeline. There was everybody saying congratulations. And that's why I was like, that's corny. I said this yesterday. Like, I feel like that was corny. Like you was trying to get people riled up. If you want to do that, you should have said you was going to the Falcons or the Saints or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's what I said.
happy for you.
I said good luck to him. I felt bad.
I thought it was a complete shot. I thought it was a complete shot at our coaching staff, bro.
Oh,
I think that's all it was meant to be.
I ain't thinking nothing.
You know what was funny though? What's funny about the whole thing is that if it was real, it wouldn't surprise anyone.
Right.
Nobody.
It would not surprise anyone.
Right.
Like for him to go somewhere, like okay, if you're a former Panther player, you're not beating down the door to go and be a part of Matt Rule's regime. You know what I mean? Like that's not who you would want to come back under. So I don't know, man. Like that's why it wouldn't surprise me if you found out that Luke. I mean, remember last year when Luke was showing up to Bill's training camp?
Yeah.
And people got all mad at Luke Kuechly and maybe he's gonna coach for them and coach for Sean McDermott. And it's like, bro, how could you blame any of these players for wanting to attach themselves to something different than what we got going on? Like, we haven't had a winning season since what, 2017?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, if Luke went up to Buffalo, I wouldn't be upset. Now, if Luke went to New Orleans or he went to
right, we passed that. Right,
that's a whole different ballgame at that point.
Right.
Even if he went to Buffalo for me, I'd have been pretty tight. I ain't gonna lie. I'd have been pretty tight, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, what would make you more upset? Steve Smith going to the Giants or Luke Kuechly going to coach for the Bills?
Neither one of them.
Kuechly.
It wouldn't bother me neither one of them.
Kuechly had me tight.
If I had to choose, it'd be Kuechly though. Cause,
Yeah, probably.
Like, cause we done had this thing when it comes to Steve. You know what I mean? With him going to, I'm kind of numb to Steve Smith, man. You know what I'm saying? He be all over the place now anyway.
Yeah.
So, but when it comes to Luke,
I would think that Luke, being how close he is with Sean McDermott, he knows their system. He kind of, when he was up there doing it last year, doing his little thing, I was like, well, that's cool. You know.
But if he showed up and said, I'm going to coach the Buccaneers linebackers this season.
Oh, yeah, it would be.
Yeah,
it would be good.
Then that's a no-go.
I'd have a bad attitude, probably. I ain't gonna lie.
And plus, you can understand that Luke played his best football under Sean McDermott. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, that
he
was
did.
a bit. That was a.
There you go.
That was a big part of him and Thomas Davis's success. I feel like.
Yeah.
And Sean McDermott is on our defense now, right?
Sean McDermott's the head coach.
Head coach of the Bills.
Exactly.
Yeah. Jerry
That's what I'm
Richardson
saying.
fucked
He's
all that
gonna
up.
go back to the
Hey,
people
look,
that
hey,
he had
Pat,
all his success.
we cannot bring back our own people, bro.
Yeah. Because we had a sorry ass owner back in the day.
In the meantime, the
I don't
Bills
give a damn if
are
nobody don't like it. Jerry Richardson should have retired from ownership 10 years before he did.
that's what I'm talking about.
You know what the Bills are doing? The Bills are saying everything that Carolina won't do for their players, their ex-players, current players, we will.
That's because
And they've been winning.
the great David Gettle, the great Jerry Richardson decided go and let Sean or go and let damn name the GM Brandon Bean go to the Bills and go let Sean McDermott go to the Bills. A few months after that, they're gonna fire Gettleman. If they're gonna fire Gettleman in the summertime or
Hey,
right after the season.
I want to ask Pat this. Pat, you said you like Matt Corral. Do you think there's a chance that he could overtake Sam in training camp and win the starting job, or do you think that Matt Rule just will not let that happen?
I don't think it's up to Matt Rule. I mean, I think if Matt Corral come out here and ball out, I think he can beat Sam. I ain't gonna do that to Sam though. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to play that game. If you watch me, I don't play that game. I hope that Sam Darnold can beat Matt Corral. That's what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying?
I think the quarterback solely depends on Matt.
That's what I'm gonna say. Like that's how I feel. Like I know I drag Sam Darnold, but I ain't gonna do him like that. Hey, Matt Corral, a rookie gonna beat you out. I ain't gonna do him like that. I'll say I hope he beat Matt Corral. But I do believe Matt Corral is gonna be a beast. That's what I'm gonna say.
I'll say this real quick. I want to give kudos to Sam Darnold because they did talk this week about he was trying to help Matt Corral with the cadences and stuff. That's for all the fire that Sam Darnold was going
could easily
for
pull
all the
Tannehill.
for all that was all media hype. Tannehill had Willis over for dinner the day all that media was come out. That was all media bullshit. Tannehill never said any.
Did you? Hey, let me ask. Did y'all have any?
Why are y'all looking up the Titans?
Hey, wait, hold on. Did y'all have any
I live in
problem with
Tennessee. I
Sam
kind
Darnold?
of shoved down my face.
Man, hold on.
You know
Listen,
about
did y'all have
Willis?
any problem with Sam Darnold saying what he said about him still believing that he could be a top quarterback in the NFL?
No. I'm glad he said it.
No,
And like to me, that's dumb, man. For fans to get upset because that man believe in himself. Come on,
Yeah,
now.
that's
How
what
that
I'm saying.
sound?
I agree, Pat. I
That
agree.
man said he believe in himself. What he was supposed to say? Yeah,
He
I
shouldn't believe
don't
in
want to
himself,
play.
Pat. He shouldn't.
See,
Cut it out.
That's like,
come on.
that's like
I was happy he said it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you needed some confidence because that's what to me he didn't seem like he played with confidence last
No,
year.
don't come in here believing in
You know what I'm
yourself.
saying? At least start with confidence because that's where to me that's where it starts at. Have some confidence.
Yeah, maybe.
You
I
guys
mean,
are
but
making
it's
me
also
sick.
Sam has never seemed like a very confident person.
Right.
I mean, hey, no, you're right. No, listen, I definitely don't blame my man for saying what he did. Like, what else did you want him to say?
Right.
He needs to be believing in himself, man. Like, especially after hearing the entire stadium booing him last year when he came back on the field. Like, dude, that has to leave a mark. Like,
And
if he
Robbie
doesn't
cussed
have,
him out in front of everybody.
yeah, man, like, dude, if he doesn't have enough motivation to be the best version of himself, then he never will. Like right
If you
now,
watch the entire video, if you
like
watch the
Sam-
entire video of the press conference,
yeah.
he literally talked about his flaws when it comes to like footwork. He talked about him still having some problems reading the defense and stuff like that.
If you
So I
watch the
mean,
whole
at
thing,
least
it's
he's being
very
honest with what he knows that he is going wrong for him fundamentally wise.
I like what Off Grid just said. My bad. I like what Off Grid just said. Panther fans need to want Sam to play well. You know what I'm saying? See, I don't like him because of what he had, the way he has played. Do I want him to play well? Yeah. To me, if you don't want him to play well, you just a hater. You just being, you just hating. You know what I'm
I'm a
saying?
hater.
I
I'm
want
a hater,
him.
Pat.
Right.
We already know that.
Like, I want, to me, that would make sense.
sticking
Yeah,
to
I want
it.
you to be good. I don't like you right. I don't like the way you playing. So fix that, and then you good to go. Now, if you just like Twine say he a hater, you just hating that. You just hope he don't play well.
I'm just a Sam Darnold Matt Rule hater. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, they're kind of in the same boat. Like,
And
to
David
be
Tepper,
honest,
but we can't get rid of him.
Like,
Yeah.
Pat, I feel like I could copy and paste Matt Rule in that same conversation and it still be true. Like,
Right.
none of us have a reason to believe in Sam Darnold or Matt Rule.
Okay.
But
There
if
you
you're a
go.
Panther
There you
fan, it's going to be better for you if they're being successful. So,
Right.
yeah, man, it's like, I don't.
And that's why if they don't play well, if they don't do well, then you just talk junk about them. That's the
Yeah, I
way
want
go.
somebody else to be successful. Hey, listen, let me ask you all a question. This is a serious question. This for everybody.
At
A
this
serious
point,
question.
consistent. Yeah.
Where can okay, look. Where I don't answer till after the second question. Where if Matt Rule got fired today, right? What team could Matt Rule go to and head coach again in the NFL?
Oh gosh.
Keep that in your head. Just keep that in your head. Right now, if you send Sam Darnold to the USFL, right? Would he be the best coach in that? Would he be the best quarterback in that league?
In the USFL, I don't even know.
I haven't watched a USFL game.
I could not even tell you who one quarterback in the
I saw the
USFL
clip
was.
of the dude smoking.
Oh,
That was it.
Yeah, I agree, Pat. That's what I was.
Yeah, Connor, what's up, bro?
Real quick, guys, I gotta go head out. I've got dinner.
Yeah, man.
So I'll see you guys on. I'll listen in on Tuesday and probably make a call. So, yeah,
Connor,
see you
you're
guys
the man. Hey, are you doing YouTube? You have a YouTube channel?
So I was actually planning on. So here's the deal. I need somebody to like do it with me because it's just like boring to do it by myself.
Connor, you could do it, man. You
Man,
can do
the
it.
way
You do it by
kids-
yourself. I do mine by myself.
The way kids watch social media, like, come on, bro.
Man.
Hey, man, whatever you end up deciding to do, you let me know. I'll let you advertise it here on the show, man.
All right,
Just need
sounds
some
good.
comedy relief.
Awesome.
Tell
Hey,
him
have
to
a good
put the
dinner. Have a good night,
Xboxes
Connor.
down.
See you guys later. Bye.
Hey,
Later, man.
Connor, here's an idea. If you know Noah, head out to Noah and see if y'all do
Yeah,
a
I
show
was
together.
thinking
That'd
about
be
that.
cool. That would
Yeah,
be very
you and
cool.
Noah, that would be incredible.
That would be incredibly cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I
People
just
love
gotta,
that.
If he comes on the show one Friday free for all, then I'll talk to him about it.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
All right,
good
well, have a
idea.
good night, Connor. Appreciate you,
All
brother.
right, thanks.
C3 love the kids.
Yeah, man.
Okay,
we're
now
trying-
answer my
hey,
question,
man,
guys.
we're trying to raise this next generation of Panther fans, man. We out here trying to, hey, someone has to do it. The team's not doing a good job
All right,
of it.
all right.
So
Let's get back to
someone
that question.
Yeah.
Who picks Matt Rule up as a head coach?
Jaguars.
Nobody.
Nobody.
No college team.
We going back
Who
to
said
college, bro.
Jaguars, man? Come on.
A college team.
If Sam Darnold, I'll keep Sam Darnold in the NFL. If he doesn't make it here, what team is most likely where he could go again and start again?
Start nowhere.
Start, no, man. I think his reputation has
Be a
been.
backup somewhere.
Yeah, he
He'll
better
be a
be a
backup.
backup.
We got
He
to
better
prove
be a
himself.
backup
Yeah,
for the rest
both of those guys are two of the main pieces on our team.
So what we gonna do about it?
They can't go
He
nowhere.
got to get fired. I mean, he got to get fired.
I mean,
bro.
what we can do about
you
it?
just got to ride
It
it.
is what it is. We
You
can't.
just got to ride it out.
We can't
It's
hit.
like you
It ain't
gotta have one person on your team that can't go, but two of them.
I mean,
Pretty
yeah.
bad.
Kev, welcome back.
Yeah,
Whoever's running this Madden game needs to hit restart.
that would be Tepper.
Unfortunately, we
Nah,
can't.
I don't think Tepper knows what Madden is.
No.
Tepper don't know what he's doing.
Madden suck. This Madden 2020, this Madden 22 suck anyway. Next time you hit restart now, it's gonna suck as bad as it does this.
Dude, all Madden is just a $60 roster update. That's all it is.
Yeah, we ain't got to restart it. We just got to cut the crap.
Just let it ride out, man. That's all you're doing. Just let this season ride out. We don't need to make any more drastic moves.
No.
You know what I mean? Let it ride.
Hey, did y'all hear this report that the Panthers wanted the Browns to pay $13 million of Baker Mayfield's $14 million contract in a trade?
I thought that was fair. I thought that was fair.
I like that. I mean, that was fair. You know what? To be honest, that may have been too much for my faith.
Man, was it 13 million?
Yeah,
they didn't want to pay no more than $18 million.
This is from Jonathan Alexander. Panthers wanted the Browns to pay 13 of the 14 million of Baker's salary. Corral was in the mix at 6. Neither Willis or Pickett were under consideration.
Hey, Scott Cole, man. No, it probably who you think said that? Was it Matt? Scott
Man, hey, look, hey,
No,
Coach
bro,
Ray, I
that
would-
had
hey,
to be Fitterer, bro. That
Coach
had
Ray,
to be.
I would have
Scott Fitterer.
slammed the phone down his ear so hard.
But the Browns are gonna have to though. Hey,
You're like,
am I
deal?
wrong? Am I wrong? The Browns are either gonna have to cut him, or they're gonna have to do something like this. Like at this point, who's
Man.
gonna take up Baker Mayfield for $14 million?
The same idiots that think that they're going to get something for Baker Mayfield are the same idiots that half the NFL thinks the Browns are going to be great this year.
Hey, tell me this real quick. How much did we pay for
Doing good.
how much of Teddy Bridgewater contract did we take up whenever we traded?
Like $7 million of it.
Oh, 7 mil? Okay. Okay. I was just curious.
But now Teddy also knew the end was coming, so he renegotiated the deal just to get out of Carolina and go somewhere else. That's why he was the free agent this year, because in the negotiation, it was all set up for Teddy to be traded, but he got to choose where he was traded to, and he would be a free agent as soon as this past season was up.
Where's Teddy at now? He's in Miami, right?
He's a backup to Miami.
Oh, okay.
He could end up starting. Who knows?
Yeah, Teddy keep getting jobs, bro.
Yeah,
So,
and he keep winning.
yep.
He keep winning the starting job, so you know.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't have mind seeing him behind this line.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, a
Would've made
lot of problems that people had with Teddy was because of that line.
So this is the top 32 quarterbacks from Madden.
All the way down to the bottom.
It's a daggone shame, man.
That's mad.
Sam Darnold sitting there chilling at number 32, yo.
Hey,
Madden's a joke, y'all.
I'm just glad. I'm glad I can't. I'm
This
glad I
ain't
can't
even
see it.
right, y'all. This
Why
ain't
they
even right.
why they rank Kenny Pickett higher than Tua, Justin Fields? Come on, bro.
Did you see that throw that Tua made on that that Dolphins hype video?
And Trey Lance.
Hiding golf.
Come on,
Lance.
man. They didn't even see this man play. Oh yeah, that's the that's
Kenny
why I
Pickett
hear
gonna
playing
get
man a
off.
long
He gonna
time
get
ago.
off in Pittsburgh, bro. He gonna get off there. I wanted him. Y'all know I wanted him. I wanted him bad.
Bro, dude, I don't agree with having Matt Jones rated above Trevor Lawrence.
We had 13 arguments about his hands.
Well, Mac Jones did play better than Trevor Lawrence.
He did.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I mean, Matt.
Oh yeah. I
Madden
agree
don't
with that.
look at potential. Madden don't look at potential at
Yeah,
all.
Mac.
No, I mean, you're right, but
Mac Jones kind of a
draft
killer
picks.
too, man. I like what he did. At first, I ain't really believe in Mac Jones like that, but
I
he
still
showed me
don't.
some stuff last year,
I
man.
mean,
I
he
was
went
like,
But if
that
you
dude
put,
a dog.
but if you put Mac Jones with the
Carolina,
Jets,
they don't look
the
the same.
Jets, he'd have been right down there with next to
Exactly.
Doug.
Well,
Yeah.
I agree. I
Same with
agree
the
to that.
Panthers,
But
too. Like,
Madden don't look at it that way.
But do y'all remember when all the analysts were saying that the Panthers needed to draft Matt Jones? Like he wouldn't have looked anywhere near what he did with the Patriots.
Oh no, definitely not.
As what he would have with the Panthers. I mean, not
on Madden 22's final roster release, the very final, I can pull it up now. Justin Fields is rated to 75 on the final roster release.
How
did he go down
list.
2 points?
It don't make sense to me.
None
of this makes sense.
This is a dumb list. Who put this list together?
That's what I say. And it says it's leaked. Who leaked it? Santa Claus?
This is a subjective list.
This doesn't make
Do you,
sense at
do
all.
you guys realize that like there was a big community of people asking for the NFL to drop EA Sports for a long time?
I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
Who is that under Jalen Hurts?
I'm one. EA.
I can't see it because of the
Sports
ticket.
has done nothing but
Matt
embarrass
Ryan.
anything associated with the NFL.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah, this list corny, dog.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna start an argument, man. Tom Brady should not be number 3, bro. He's not playing like that no more.
I agree.
I don't know, man.
But Tom Brady, Tom Brady.
Swan. It was literally in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna do it. I can't agree with that. Tom Brady still.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's the
Come on, man. I'm right back on it. That defense won. Look, man. Look, we're not gonna shade that defense. Look, if this list is gonna be based on wins, athleticism.
I got a question. Deshaun Watson didn't play at all last year. And year before that, he looked bad.
Allen, Jackson, and Herbert in front of him.
How
And
was he
Wilson in front of him.
86? He didn't play at all.
Once again, look at the
And the year
company that's
before that, he
making
looked
this
bad 'cause
game.
the Texans looked bad. So, I mean,
where's Daniel Jones?
Patrick McKay Willis, he a
Daniel
rookie. He's
Jones
still
is right
damn
ahead
good.
of
He's
Sam Darnold,
71.
number 30.
Wow, dude.
They got Matthew. They got Matthew 7 and 10, and he just won the Super Bowl.
By the way, everybody was saying,
Madden.
They got Burrow right next to him. It was in the Super Bowl.
Hey, well, here's a question I have. Why do they have Malik Willis listed on this list? If you have Tannehill, then why?
But they got Watson and Mayfield on here.
If you're gonna put Darnold on this list, then you can put Malik Willis on this list.
But it's like, damn, if you're gonna put Malik Willis on the list, you just assume put Matt Corral and
Put Matt Corral over Kenny Pickett.
Yep.
Put him right there between Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Oh no, Matt Corral ain't better than Kenny Pickett.
All these are the OVR numbers, and the OVR actually has nothing to do with the original Madden scores.
Twan, did you just say Matt Corral is not better than Kenny Pickett?
He's not. I mean, y'all know this about
I'm about to kick you off the chat, dog. Come on.
You gonna see?
Right.
You know what? Kenny Pickett's hands are so small, he probably fumbles.
See, they all gonna still talk about his hands, man.
I ain't say nothing about his hands. I ain't say nothing about his hands.
Who cares about his hands? That man, with the same baby hands, he broke Dan Marino's record.
Yeah, okay.
Bro,
Let me ask you a question. So since we're on the topic of Madden right now,
he took a no-name team. You can't name nobody else on that team, man. Nobody.
Yeah, but we're gonna do that for a lot of people. We're gonna do that for
You're right, absolutely.
Man,
I
you watch them Ole Miss games, man. Matt Corral was carrying that team.
Go back.
Go watch that Ole Miss. Go watch Ole Miss.
I believe Matt Corral was better
what were you gonna say, bro?
I was going to say while we were on the topic of Madden, what is the greatest NFL football video game of all time?
That's highly debatable.
I'm going with Madden. I'm going with Madden. Madden 99. No, Madden 2001.
I say about
Madden 2001.
For me, it's between. For me personally, it's between 04 and 08.
I know your answer, brother.
Madden 2001.
ESPN 2K.
That's actually
exactly
another
what it
pick
is.
right there. I'm not gonna lie.
That's exactly what it is.
First year Madden came out with
I
Hit
played
Stick.
that
That
game.
was 04, I think.
I played that game.
Yep.
And
Well, they had Michael Vick running around there.
When they first came out with
On the
Hit
South.
Stick, that was a wrap.
And
That
his
was a
stick was
wrap.
Ray Lewis.
Madden still ain't made a game better than that game.
Hey, Coltrane, I had Mike Vick out there on 1,000, bro. He was
Just running circles in the man. I used to hate Mike Vick. That would really make me hate the
I
Falcons,
hated
dog.
Michael Vick. I used to way
Yeah,
back
Mike
in the day.
Vick's so juiced up.
I used to say it should be illegal for a quarterback run.
Cheat code, bro.
Hey, you didn't have to hit the B button or nothing. Vic was just doing it on the show.
Bruh. Cheat code.
That's because Madden sucked that bad back then.
Nah, it was good. I mean, players was good. I like when they used to go fumble. They don't do none of that.
You know, I think 08 was
I like when
probably
the ambulance
most
used to
diverse
come
one.
out when you knock somebody out.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Now the NFL itself put an end to a lot of that, though.
Oh yeah.
The old school games is better than these games. Every game now is robbing, killing, shooting, going some long. Everything is a trip. You know what I'm saying? We just like to do the fun games too back then, bro. They don't got no fun games.
Hey, did y'all see? Y'all
Whatever, like an AirPods for Gorilla.
Bro, I had to go Google his hand size because all the memes that was coming out. I started thinking like, dang, dude, he got the little small hand like the dude from the Yin Yang Twins. Like, I was like, dang.
I
Like, that's what I thought. That's what I thought people was trying to say because they was talking about it so much. I was like, dang, he got a DJ Paul hand or something. Because so many people was coming out with the memes. So I said, let me go look at it. And I saw. I guess I saw. I was like, man, it wasn't that bad, but y'all cold, bro.
You have to
He had a small hand.
Bro, that's a normal AirPod, y'all. That's a normal AirPod.
I never in my life ever realized how they measure hand size. That is the first thing. When they started talking about that, everybody walking around tape measure under their hand size.
Man, don't nobody care about no hand size, man.
To me, it's more a Kenny Pickett game, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like whenever that people were hyping him up to come to Carolina, I went to go watch his film, and it was dope. But it didn't jump out at me like Matt Corral's film. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna be a solid QB, but he ain't no killer.
Pat, I feel
It's
like
just a matter of choice.
But I feel like the difference between Kenny Pickett and Matt Corral is a lot of the things that you can't teach, man. I feel like he's a faster runner. I feel like Matt Corral has better arm talent. I feel like he has a better throwing motion. I feel like he pairs his foot and his eyes very well. He has a very solid base. Like all the intangibles about Matt Corral, they're all there. And he elevated a football team that lost a lot of its star receivers, lost a lot of their offensive linemen, and they still went 10-2 last year. Over the past 2 years, no one has more passing yards, more touchdowns, or a better completion percentage in the SEC than Matt Corral. I mean, that's big time competition, y'all. No other quarterback has that going for him.
It didn't shock me at all that
I made that
Kenny
same
Pickett at
point.
all. It really didn't. I was chatting with the Steeler fan at work the next day after the draft, and he was like, or that following week, and he says, I don't really understand. He said, I didn't realize that they were interested. They didn't really show a lot of interest in Kenny Pickett and bring him in. I said, wait, why would they do that? They train in the same building. All they had to do was walk across the hall every day this year. All they had to do was walk across the hall and look at him. Stop him in the shower, talk to him, stop in the bath, stop in the cafeteria, wherever they was. It wasn't like they had to walk across the state to look at Kenny Pickett.
I mean, I love Matt Corral, man. I'm excited for him to be that he's on our team, though. Yeah. I think he's going to be awesome.
Twan, you were right. A lot of it's just depend on the individual preference by whoever does the drafting for the team.
But whoever wins, that's my guy. But hopefully it's Matt Corral, though. Man.
Yeah. Well, fellas, we've done 2 hours and 13 minutes, man. I feel like the past few weeks, I've had almost nothing planned to talk about, and we end up doing 2.5 hours, man. So I appreciate everybody for coming on this thing, man. Y'all make me feel like I got some friends, man. Sit through
man, Cody.
But real quick, I'll tell you how bad Madden suck, y'all. You saw how much Justin Herbert's rated, right? Now I'm gonna tell you this. This week, just 2 days ago, on my Madden game, I started a new one, franchise, and I needed a quarterback. So I offered I say his name wrong, Jones, the defensive tackle we had last year. I sent him and my first round pick to the Chargers for
that's
Justin
one
Herbert.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That's all
If you
for
guys are
Justin
looking
Herbert.
for good entertainment,
That's how bad Madden is right now, y'all.
Yeah, I can't play
It
that
really
game.
is.
if you guys are looking
And-
for good entertainment, just look up Madden glitches. They're pretty hilarious.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
Madden glitches on YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that. I'm
hilarious.
interested in stuff
they're
like that.
so funny, and the folks that really get into Madden are to a point that even YouTubers that play Madden are just disgusted. Because Madden keeps coming out with the same bullshit. Oh, we're going to get better. We're working on it, and it's a found out lie. And the NFL doesn't really give a damn enough about it to correct it. They really
What do
don't.
you got, the 5? You got the 5 or the 4?
And idiots like me go buy a damn game every year.
You got the 5 or the 4?
Nobody in the chat room wants me to get off. They don't want me to eat no dinner, y'all. Damn. They want me to
Cody
do a
got to
4-hour
eat.
Show.
I'm about to go eat.
Yeah, we got these.
But hey, man, real quick, Pat, I know you retired, man.
Yeah, I'm
So,
retired.
Nobody.
Look, I'm retired, but y'all can still go to my YouTube channel and subscribe and hit notification. Pat Coltrane. So, but I'm retired now. But so if you see some videos pop up, they just
He's
charity.
part-time retired.
That's
Yeah,
right.
hey, y'all-
Okay, Tom Brady.
That's right, Dan Floyd. You right.
y'all
Put that retired, that
You
allegedly.
100% right, Dan Floyd. I agree with you 1,000%. When I
Hey,
play
look,
with,
man,
at least when I
Pat,
play
Put
with
them
Sam
air
Darnold
quotes
on Madden,
around
I can blame it on
I'm
Madden.
retired.
Hey,
Allegedly.
Pat, you know, he might unretire at any time, so hit the notification bell.
Man,
just
Pat ain't retired, man.
yeah,
I'm getting
just
sick
in
of it.
case he switches it up, you know. But,
I'm getting sick of it, man.
but ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All. I'm your host,
C3.
Cody Lashing. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming to hang out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Gentlemen, any last words y'all want to say before we jump off of here?
I got
Have
one.
me on, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Panther fans. Shout out to
Yeah,
C3.
man. I appreciate
Hey,
all of y'all, man.
if anybody out there wants to come to hit me and my boys talk, I mean, our format is very similar to this. I run the 704 Charlotte Bound podcast. Please go over there and subscribe to us. Hit the like buttons, share our content, watch the content. If you like this, you'll love us. You know, and you know, help us grow, man. You know, as well as all the other people that put out Panthers content. I mean, the Panthers fan base has a plethora of shows they can watch.
We big time.
Some teams don't have but one.
Oh, and you know how I know that? Because they're all in our chat room, bro.
Yeah.
They in our chat room.
They'll come to our chat room.
Yeah, they ain't got no fan communities of their own that are cool that people want to be a part of. So, you know.
Well, it's because a
they
lot
come
of
hang
those
out with
fan
C3.
bases don't have smart people in their fans.
Ah,
Brown, I mean,
yeah,
they
dude.
ain't real smart at all. I mean,
I like
they
it.
celebrate when they win 5 games. They signed a draft pick and all of a sudden we go to Super Bowl. We signed this backup for the Colts or some shit. That's what they do.
You're the man, bro. All right, well, Panther Nation, that's all for the free for all. Until next time, peace and love to you. Keep pounding.